High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
a clash of styles, out to talk it. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
From Berner High School, Varsity Media Sports Network presents this Nassau Conference 1 showdown between the Chiefs of Massapequa and the Red Devils of Freeport. Good evening, everyone. Dylan Butler here with Mike Hungerford. And Mike, finally, it feels like fall is here. Friday Night Lights doesn't beat this matchup here between two traditional powerhouses in Nassau Conference 1. Freeport and Massapequa, they have so many championships between the two of them. It should be a really fun game.
Dylan, I've been looking forward to this one since it was on the calendar and knew we were doing the game. And, you wake up this morning and the fall weather kind of sets in and it feels like football in the air, and these two teams are going to go at it. Great coaching staffs, great players, and like you alluded to already, tremendous history and tradition in Conference 1.
Yeah, we'll get into that tradition as we continue on in this broadcast. Chiefs coming onto the field now. You see them there. And Mike, two-time defending champions, the preseason #1 seed. Their head coach, Kevin Schippo, says they are too deep at every position. So certainly the championship runs through Massapequa this year.
Sure, whenever you win a championship and you think you have guys back and you want to be the #1 seed, it's because you think you can defend it, right? And Coach Shippos and his staff certainly believe that, and as deep as they are, it definitely makes them pretty productive team.
We'll take a quick break for the anthem. We'll return with the rest of our pregame right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
One more time.
Come on, one more.
One more. One more. Riding stance.
Yeah!
2, 1.
One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
And welcome back to Berner Middle School here in Massapequa. We continue with our look at these guys, the Chiefs of Massapequa, 2-0 on the season. They opened the year with a 32-20 win over Baldwin, 27-0 last week right here against Syosset. Two tremendous leaders for them this year on offense and on defense. You see them there, 11, Ryan Fountain. He is their Mr. Everything, a little bit like Jake Cialino was a year ago. And Dylan Wakely on the defensive side, a starter on both sides of the ball.
Sure, obviously Fountain, they're going to find a lot of ways to get him the football in tonight's game. They're going to hand it to him. They're going to throw it to him. All those types of things to get him, in space, one-on-one, very difficult to tackle.
Yeah, you see the two of them right there walking out among the captains there along with Eddie Devanzo as well. When you look at the guys in red on the other side, Rossellin's group, well, first of all, it starts with Rossellin, right, the legendary head coach at Freeport in his 36th season, a 1975 graduate of Lindenhurst High School, a wild Week 1 loss. We'll get to that more as this broadcast continues. 40-36 at home against Port Washington. The good bounce-back win a week ago, 38-14 against East Meadow. And look, you know it as well as anyone. They're about their athletes and the tradition of incredible athletes. That remains the same when you look at their players to watch here. It's Nazir Jean Lubin and Jonathan Meza as well. Meza is that leader on both sides of the line, and John Lubin this year has put up some ridiculous highlight reel numbers.
Nazir Jean Lubin is a typical guy that Freeport has that is explosive. You got to be careful when he gets the ball in space. Very similar to Ryan Fountain. He can go the distance at any time. You got to be very careful kicking it to him the way you put the ball. And he's the typical guy they have over the years, just that great athlete that can run around with it.
What's remarkable about Jean Lubin this year especially, you look at his numbers, he's got 6 receptions for 98 yards and a touchdown. He's got 10 carries for 76 yards. He's also thrown it 5 times, 3 completions for 64 yards and 2 touchdowns. And by the way, 3 kickoff returns this year as well. So when we spoke with Kevin Shippos, the Chiefs head coach, he said it's very important not to kick to number 11 there in red. You want to kick anywhere away from him because he's got that ability to break it at any point and time. Shippos, a 1997 graduate of Baldwin High School. Mike, let's take a look at our keys to the game here for both teams. For the Chiefs, there's a lot of containing to do, right? Gordon, John Lubin, all those playmakers. You want to bottle them up. You want to keep their offense off the field, keep them out of space, certainly. Control the clock, move the chains. Freeport, they want to tackle and block better than they have in the first 2 games. Obviously rely on those experienced skill players and maybe a little bit more special teams magic, right, from John Lubin.
Sure, when you play Freeport, you have to defend the whole field. You have to cover the field defensively, not stack up. We'll talk about that as the game goes on and be able to tackle well in space. And the same is true of Massapequa. They're going to get the ball to their playmakers in space, and you have to tackle. And I know the Freeport guys are looking to tackle better than they have in the first couple games. Show some improvement there.
When we look at last year's meeting between these two teams, back on October 8th, 2021, Massapequa a 41-18 win in that one. Ryan Heydrich went 15 of 22 for 310 yards, 3 touchdowns, also had 2 rushing scores. Mike D'Alessandro ran for 105 yards and a touchdown, also had a receiving score. DJ Gordon did what DJ Gordon does, 192 yards in the air and a touchdown, also ran it 20 times for 88 yards and a score, and John Lubin had 13 receptions for 166 yards and a score. So certainly we've seen this year what John Lubin has done, but Shippos and the Chiefs saw that firsthand a year ago.
Dylan, you got looking at the weather here tonight, looks like a really nice night, but there's quite a bit of wind.
Little bouncer, and that's fielded at the 30. So yeah, maybe wind could be a factor. Massapequa this year, it's funny, we said it off air before we started this game. Really, Massapequa, they just reload at the quarterback position. It is amazing to see year in and year out. You can go through all the different names. A year ago it was Ryan Heydrich, and this year it's Paul Delanto. And what a job he's done as a first-year starting quarterback. The junior, you see him there coming out, 24 of 32 for 339 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's a Stony Brook baseball commit. He's a standout catcher for the Massapequa baseball program. First down run goes up the middle. A short gain. Looked like that was Mike DeLuca. He's pushed back. You see Meza among the tacklers. Let's take a look at the starting offense for Massapequa, presented by Body Armor. At QB, it's Delanto. You see DeLuca. Your receivers are Vitali, Fountain, Kura, and Nugent. Up front, Meany, Smith, Devanzo, Wakely, and Kovalewski. 2nd and 9. Another handoff. This is a much better gain up the middle, which sets up a manageable 3rd down. We'll take a look at the Freeport defense. Also, their starting lineup presented by Body Armor. Up front, Meza, Velasquez, Dominic, and Sorsor. Your linebackers are Gordon, Nice, Fear, and in the corner, your corners are John Lubin and Edwards, and the safeties are Jaden Gordon and Jaheim Clement. 3rd and 3 from the 37-yard line for the Chiefs' first drive of this game. Another handoff, another run, and another push. It looks like DeLuca should get it. He's been impressive, and again, it's you replace the guys who came before you. We mentioned in last year's game it was all about Mike D'Alessandro, right, and the job that he did. He's graduated now. Another Mike steps in, Mike DeLuca, 30 carries, 121 yards, and 2 touchdowns this year for the Chiefs.
So certainly all comes down to Massapequa up front. A very strong offensive line. Usually have great tight end play and sniffer H-back guys, big people to get on guys and get a good push up front.
Keep going his way. And a really good gain there on first down out towards midfield.
Great wind back right there. Great cutback on the run.
DeLuca, tough runner, downhill. He'll get you those tough yards when you need it. 6 foot, 185. Obviously has that strength as well. He gained 8 on that first down run.
Sure, Massapequa going fairly quickly here, taking a look at the defense, setting the play from the sideline, bringing Fountain in the backfield here.
Hey, his first touch, look at him go back to pass. Fountain under trouble. He's got Meza chasing him, and a good job defensively there by Freeport, just chasing him out. It was Yvonne Nice, but it was a first down run by Fountain.
Okay, you can have a little sweep pass there, coming from the handoff to Fountain. Freeport kind of breaks it up a little bit with a little coverage, and number 22 gets some penetration in the backfield.
Yeah, Fear.
And great job by Fountain though. That's what he's all about. Slippery, can get places very quick. I think wherever Fountain goes, red alert, right? Red alert, red alert.
100%. And that's the fun thing about this matchup, because Fountain is what John Lubin is for the Red Devils. Here comes Delanto, calls his own number, gets out to that Maze M in the middle of the field.
I think, Dylan, one of the things that makes Massapequa very tough to defend for the other defensive coordinators and teams in the conference is they always have a quarterback and they always have a backup quarterback. And they're very willing to. Nobody wants to see a quarterback get hurt. So sometimes they're not willing to run the quarterback too much. Massapequa was always very apt to run the quarterback right there off the sweep read. He kept the ball there. So you have to defend all of Massapequa's players on every down. 2nd
and 8. Again, Delanto, nice fake of that handoff to DeLuca. And he gets a couple more yards. Looks like the tackle was Tamel Dominic, number 59, the senior. Came into this game with 6.5 tackles, that tough defensive tackle position for the Red Devils.
Yeah, you see Delanto reading it there, pulling it, keeping it himself, and some good edge defense right there by Freeport. A couple downs earlier, they missed a couple tackles here along the way, but now they seem to have stiffened up a little bit and put Massapequa in a 3rd and 6, almost 7 situation here.
You mentioned that always having that backup, right? That is Fountain, and he was the guy last year as well. But Delanto really impressed. He's back. His first attempted pass, good blocking, tucks under, has some room to move, cuts inside the 35-yard line, and gets a Massapequa first down.
Great decision by Delanto there. It was an edge blitzer, picked up by the back, and the pocket started to squeeze a little bit. And he saw no one really was spying him. He just ran. Great scramble.
Good job, too, up front. You saw Wakely there. He had an opportunity to block. It would have been in the back. He puts his hands back, makes sure, because he knew Delanto had space.
Yeah, Freeport's going to have to probably make an adjustment along the way, making sure they have someone spying Delanto in those passing situations just in case.
Fountain in motion. He gets the handoff, goes towards the Freeport sideline and cuts inside of the 30-yard line.
Little sweep there to Fountain coming into the backfield.
Ryan Fountain, a 2-year starter, Mr. Versatility for the Chiefs. He's the guy, Mike, that everyone knows about, but you still got to stop him, and that's why, as you said, you put him in different positions, right? He's not always going to be that slot receiver or have him out wide. We saw him line up in the backfield. He's going to switch sides. They're always going to want to get him moving around. 2nd and 6 from the 30-yard line. Delanto back to pass, just dumps it over the middle to Fountain. And a good job tackling that time. You mentioned before about breaking tackles. Well, DJ Gordon was making sure that he was holding on to Fountain's ankles.
They just brought Fountain there on a little under route, cleared out some space and brought him under. Tried to get him in that space situation again, right? Catch and run, and a great tackle by Gordon coming down and making that play from the safety spot.
8.5 tackles on the year for Gordon. He does that as well, by the way, from that outside linebacker position. 3rd and 7, so it was a loss of 1. So big play here, especially defensively for Freeport, where, as you mentioned, some early struggles on this drive, but they've done a little bit better the last few. There's the fake. Here comes Delanto, our sideline. Delanto. A first down run again.
Little read action right there by Delanto. Making the read, pulling the ball, coming around the corner with it.
What's amazing about Delanto, too, he only started playing football in the 9th grade. We mentioned before, right? A standout baseball player. And, yeah, we know from what we saw out in Williamsport, they've got some of those as well in this town. So Delanto, that guy, but really learned a lot from Heydrich a year ago, just soaked everything up like a sponge. Here's DeLuca, who learned from D'Alessandro, pushing himself forward.
Couple yards there.
Chippo says of DeLuca, he's been a pleasant surprise because he was up as a sophomore as the backup to D'Alessandro. But he has improved greatly this year. Came into the game with 30 carries for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. This is 2nd and 8.
Probably Massapequa probably closing in on, having all 4 downs to work with here, right? Fairly deep in Freeport's end on the 17-yard line. So
handoff comes this sideline, another big run. As it was DeLuca, you saw a big 25 as well. Tyler Villalta, the sophomore, leading the charge and the blocking.
Sure, good sweep play right there, outside play, and Freeport's going to have to stiffen up a little bit on the edges there. It was a little soft there. They're able to turn the corner and get about 6 yards, leaving them a very manageable, 3rd and 2, 2.5, 3. Probably 2 downs to work with here for Massapequa.
Gordon, again, in on the tackle, and if you speak to Russ Ellen, that's not preferable, right, to have your starting QB be an outside linebacker, but it is what it is, and he's such a special football player. You do need him to impact the game in multiple ways.
He's definitely a special talent. He's probably, in my opinion, one of the very best players in the conference. So you have to use him whenever you can.
Off the high snap, DeLuca again pushes himself forward. And there you see again, 54, Jonathan Meza in on the tackle. 2-year all-conference player, Meza. 10.5 tackles, 1 for a loss coming into this game. 6 foot 235 from that DN position.
You're going to have fourth and very short here.
Let's see if they bring in the big boys.
They may go double tight here.
Yeah, Weiserick, we see 44 coming in. That's usually 2
Haran as
where
well.
We see Haran, yeah. He comes in as well.
Definitely a bigger package here. Less receivers. Fountain is the only wideout. He might be a little bit of window dressing here.
4th and 1 from the 10. Oh, and it's a fumble. And it will be Freeport ball.
Like there was some mix up there. Certainly not the way they wanted to go. If you were Massapequa and Freeport, they get the ball moved on them a little bit, they bend a little bit and don't break it.
Oh, Gordon is going to turn right around. You see him there, number 3. He's now your starting QB, the junior. What a year he has had. Let's take a look at the replay again. Let's see if we could figure out where this off the snap. There's the handoff, and it might have just been the defensive play by Gordon there.
Well, Gordon kind of came unblocked a little bit. I think Weiserick was supposed to, come down and seal there, and it just all happened kind of fast. And Freeport makes a play.
So Freeport starts off at their own 10-yard line. Again, Gordon will detail him more after this play. He is a 3-year starter. That wasn't by choice. If you are Russ Sellen, he hands off. That's Martise Davenport. And we'll show you the QB again. Gordon, as a freshman, that COVID year, he was forced into it, thrown right into the fire. And Gordon has been phenomenal. There you see his numbers. 9 of 16, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, 17 carries, 132. Oh, by the way, 2 receptions as well for 53 yards and 2 scores. We already saw what he does on the defensive end.
Sure, phenomenal athlete. Can do it all.
Oh, that's a tough one for Gordon to handle. He's got to pick it up and get out of that end zone. Remarkably, he does just that. He had to pick that ball up, Mike, in the back of the end zone with Chiefs swarming everywhere. Somehow he gets out of the end zone.
Yeah, very high snap. Some guys just maybe happy to fall on it. He's confident in his athletic ability, and he knows he's got to get out of the end zone. He dives across and saves the safety right there.
Yeah, he breaks tackles of Robbie Nugent and Derek Boswell. And, I mean, look, it's a 3rd and 18 now from your own 2, but it could have been a lot worse. Gordon back in his own end zone. And the center is Jonathan Meza. So he's just going to say, I'm going to punt this ball away. By the way, Gordon does that as well for Freeport. I think he's a little bit too young to physically drive the bus, but certainly from a standpoint of on the field, he does drive that bus as well. So you look across the far sideline, and it's Russ Sellen, the head coach of Freeport, an absolute legend in the game. There you see him, 36th year, a 1975 graduate from Lindenhurst High School, 247 career wins, which ties him 18th all-time. New York State, he earned his 200th victory back in 2015, a 35-27 win over Plainview JFK. He's a Red Devil through and through, but he started his collegiate head coaching career at St. Dom's for 3 years, a Nassau County High School Athletics Hall of Fame inductee in 2017.
Just a legend, clearly one of the greatest high school football coaches in Long Island history, and will always go down as the man who brought the spread offense to Long Island. The creator of the spread offense, the famous stories about how he saw the game on TV and he was interested and brought the spread to Long Island and kind of made it a thing here, but everybody has picked up on ever since.
1st and 10 from the Freeport 47. Handoff again. It's DeLuca. Tries to get it to the outside, and he's tackled well there by Jaheim Clement, number 4. The senior, 5'10", 150. He's now at 9.5 tackles on the year.
Kind of looked like he was going to get a little more there. Good pursuit by the Freeport guys, getting to the football, getting hands to the ball, and getting him on the floor and tackling, And that was the point of emphasis, I think, for the Freeport guys, was to tackle better. They've done a little bit better so far this game, for sure.
Handoff goes the far sideline. A nice look and run by the sophomore Villalta. And he gets the first down. There is a flag, though, on the play. It's back out at the 45-yard line, so we expect this one here to come back for Massapequa.
You're going to have a hold here. One of the better officiating crews in Nassau County, about the best crew in Nassau County here tonight, in my opinion, doing the game here. No disrespect to anybody else. A lot of good officials in the county. Great crew here.
We know you have a love relationship with Nassau County officials in every sport.
Can't play without him. I know times in games everybody gets excited and has a lot to say and a lot of opinions, but at the end of the day, got to have him. You can't play without him, and I think everyone's got to respect him a little bit more.
So they'll push them back to the Massapequa 45-yard line.
Spot foul.
Yep.
Might see a pass thrown here, Dylan. The Pequa guys done a pretty good job of running the football so far.
Delanto out to his right, and he finds Bobby Nugent.
Good looking target of Nugent.
Yeah, and listen, he's the guy who looks different than everybody else in those receivers, right? Because you got guys like Fountain and Nico Cura. and Vitale. They're all like 5'9", 5'11". Here comes Robbie Nugent at 6'4".
I was near him before pregame. I walked past him. He's all a 6'4", too. He's a good-looking athlete.
You see him there at the top of your screen, 88.
Just ran a little push-off comeback route. Picked up about 11 yards back.
3rd and 9 for Massapequa. Pressure comes. Delanto is forced out of the pocket. Now he's forced to scramble, and I don't think he got to the first down marker. Looks like he's a couple yards shy.
Great pass rush right there. Kind of got him to pull the ball down and run. They had a spy there, kind of breaking down. I think they got him a little bit short.
You saw 9, Kesson Sorsor, forcing him out of the pocket, and then he's pushed out as well. So it'll be a 4th and 1 here. And again,
Sorsor with a lot of motor right there, right? A lot of energy trying to get around the corner, trying to bend around the corner there.
you saw he was pushed out there by Landon Daly, 25. 4th and 1 for Massapequa. For a little bit of a hard count, trying to draw Freeport offsides. Delanto looks back to his sideline. You see to his right hip is DeLuca. Fakes the handoff there, throws it far sideline, and when in need of a big play, you find 11 in white. First down, Massapequa.
Yep, simple little out route right there from Fountain. Pitch and catch, easy first down. Secondary guys were kind of bailing a little bit there. You know, he had a little inside blitz. So a good call by the Massapequa coaching staff going with the pass over the run.
We know of Fountain's athletic ability, but his football IQ is also off the charts. He's a guy, Kevin Shippo says, is so good at knowing where to go and how to run routes and where to be at the right time. It's a lot of things he says you really can't even coach. It's just instincts. There he goes again. He's forced back. Look at this pursuit of the football by the Red Devils, pushing Fountain all the way back.
Good job leveraging the football right there, Dylan. What I mean by that is, you know, getting that guy going sideways, attacking the proper hip, and so he can't turn the corner on you and get him going, you know, east-west as opposed to north-south until your help comes. Great job right there.
Big loss inside this final minute of a fast-moving first quarter here at Berner Middle School. It'll be a 2nd and 22. And you see the padding there. Fountain had a contusion he suffered in week 1, had to come out of the game. Man in motion now is Nico Cura. Delanto pushes himself forward, falls just shy of the 40-yard line, likely the final play of this first quarter.
Yep, little power read right there. Delanto pulls it, keeps the ball.
You see the conversation with the white hat, just double-checking. Do I have to run a play? He says no. And that will do it here from Berner Middle School. The first quarter in the books. And it is no score between two Nassau Conference 1 powerhouses. We'll take a quick break and we'll return for more of this showdown right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Come on down Sunday, September 25th for National Quesadilla Day. Quesadillas are only going to be $5.99. That's right, in-store only. Quesadillas are starting at just $5.99. Guac and queso are always extra. See you at Guac Shop for National Quesadilla Day on Sunday, September 25th.
Welcome back to Berner Middle School. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford with you. And also welcome to Guac Shop, our new post-game sponsor. 5 locations in Nassau, including right next door in Wantagh and in Freeport. There you see their locations, Garden City, Jericho, Wantagh. I know you were getting pretty hungry watching that commercial there, Mike.
I didn't really eat before I came here tonight, and now I'm in a bad spot for the next hour and a half.
There's your 5 places to find them. And, of course, Varsity Media Pass is your go-to for everything you want to know about high school football this fall. We've got top 10 plays, highlights, podcasts, interviews, season preview show, and so much more available on iOS and Android. Varsity Media Pass.
The red zone of Long Island high school football.
It's not. We don't have that just yet, but we're working on it. I know. Ben Turchins, he's in the laboratory. He's trying to figure out how do we get a red zone channel.
Third down here, Dylan.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. You flip the field, so Massapequa going from left to right. Delanto again in motion. It's a completed pass, but again, a much better job defensively by Freeport than they've shown coming into this game. Looked like it was maybe Danny Cruz 50 in on the tackle along with Gordon.
That's one of those plays that Freeport, Massapequa runs really well. They kind of have that little quarter roll, and they have that flat player, and they have 2 deeper receivers, and the quarterback's reading it. So Freeport gets a stop that they need here.
So the Chiefs are forced to punt for the first time in this football game, and suspect the punt will likely go nowhere near number 11, Nazir Jean Lubin. And it will just bounce. And a really good-looking punt as well on the play.
I think right now, Dylan, both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit, and the Pequa guys have the better of the play so far in terms of having one more possession and a lot more plays ran. But I think the wind coming across the field here, really blowing, is kind of making it, make you think twice about throwing the ball as your first option or throwing deeper balls here if you're Massapequa.
Yeah, definitely, and that's part of that fall feel here today, right, throughout Long Island. There you see the flag. It's blowing right now into the face of the Freeport players. You see it there across the field here at Burner Middle School. So we'll see how that affects this quarter, at least Freeport, but as we know, they're a team more likely to run it than certainly throw it. So they will start on their own 11-yard line. Handoff and it's Davenport with it. Let's take a look. We didn't get a chance in the first quarter. We'll show you the starters offensively for Freeport. Their starters are brought to you by Body Armor. Gordon and Davenport in the backfield. You got Clenant, Jean Lubin, Gordon and Nees up front. You've got Ramos, Penix, Meza, Cruz, and Green. 2nd and 11, and some motion there, it looks like. So this play should come back. We'll show you the infraction in a moment, but I thought it was on the offense, some movement.
It's an illegal motion right there. I don't think we had the player set before the ball was snapped. Bob Miller, one of the best out there right now, trying to explain things to Coach Shippos.
There you see the call.
Ask him whether they want to accept the play or the penalty.
So we'll
you have a choice.
Reduce second. Now, I'll show you the defense real quick from Massapequa. Again, their starters brought to you by Body Armor. You got up front Wakely, Kovalewski, Smith. Your linebacking core of the 2 Ryans, Karowski, Weiserick, Haran, and Nugent as well. Your corners are Boswell and DeVito. Fountain and Villalta are your starting safeties. So off that penalty, it's a 2nd and 15. 2nd and 17 back at their own 4-yard line.
We're trying to find a little consistency offensively, right? A couple plays early on, they had a fumble. They barely got out of the end zone. They quick kicked on 3rd down. Penalty here. Kind of have to get out of their own end of the field in some way, shape, or form if they can do it.
Man in motion is Jean Lubin. Gordon is going to look his way, airs it out. Jump ball between between Fountain and Jean Lubin, dueling 11s, incomplete pass.
The ball might have hung up in the air a little bit with the wind there, Dylan, and kind of a jump ball situation. Nobody could really judge it too well at that point, and it harmlessly bounces to the ground.
Jean Lubin was a JV quarterback before he came up, and we've seen a bunch of times this year where he's come into that backfield. And again, we said about Fountain, right? Like you want to get him in different spots. The same is true of Jean Lubin. 3rd and 17 now for the Red Devils. And by the way, they'll have to be punting into the wind if they don't get a first down here. Tough carry up the middle. That was Martise Davenport, who came into this game with 18 carries, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns for the 2-year starter, who's a little bit undersized at 5'6", 160, but just battles. And again, we've got another infraction here. Let's see what Bob Miller has. I like that he comes over first to give the conversation right to the sideline.
Yeah, probably didn't have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. You need 7 on the line of scrimmage to get the ball. The ball could be snapped. So I don't think they had 7 on right there. Probably will be maybe declined.
They did decline it. He said it. Yeah.
Bring up a punting situation, it looks like.
Yeah, this is really tough. And again, we showed you those wins, and that's what you're punting into. If you are Freeport. So Gordon will again.
Coach Selwyn traditionally, the quarterback many times is the punter at Freeport High School, and this is not a situation probably for a fake punt. But with him back there, you're always thinking about him running around the corner with the football and running with a lot of space.
At this time, I don't think that if I'm Massapequa, only because they were coming as well, trying to get that block, right? Here is Villalta and a short return for the sophomore. Villalta stepped in for an injured Fountain in that Week 1 win over Baldwin, had 2 touchdowns versus an improved Bruins team, and that was a little bit of his coming out party, number 25 there. Villalta 5'11", 180. Smaller kid, but he's got that wiggle, right? A little, he can move, he's shifty, so it's a different look there at running back when he comes in than you see with your other option at running back at DeLuca.
Yeah, great job by Villalta right there, fielding that ball rather than maybe hitting and rolling and Freeport gaining 10, 12, 15 more yards. He fields it, is able to get a nice return, and Massapequa starting in unbelievable field position at the Freeport 29.
Yeah, no score here. You see the clock in the bottom of your screen. 9:18. There is the handoff. It is Villalta. And look at who's leading the charge. Villalta towards the end zone. Touchdown, Massapequa. A 29-yard touchdown run by Villalta, and it was DeLuca leading the charge, blocking.
That's a good backfield combo right there. DeLuca blocking and Villalta running with the ball. A little sweep read, might have a little sweep read right there. I'm just straight up regular sweep. And he takes it to the house to get Massapequa on the scoreboard. Great looking play right there. Good blocking on the edge by Massapequa with the right tackle and the right guard. Kowalewski.
Yeah, Jason right? Kowalewski.
Yep. Good block on the edge there.
High snap. The kick is up by Chilemi, and it is good. Alex Chilemi was a guy that kind of went into some stardom here in this town. That happens, of course, when you kick the winning field goal in the Long Island Championship with 4 seconds left and doing it as a freshman. But that's what Chilemi did. Had an unbelievable year a year ago. There's been a struggle there at the point afters. He's now 4 of 7 this year. But that's not, you hear Shippo say it, that's not on him, that's not on Fazio, the holder, it's not on Fountain, who is the long snapper. It's more on the protection, and it was certainly better there as Chilemi puts it through.
Yep, that was a good-looking kick right there, even with the wind. And he was the hero last year of the Long Island Championship game, winning one of the wins for Nassau, one of the 4 wins for Nassau last year. Massapequa defending champ. And, Dylan, at this moment, as Freeport's getting ready to come out for the return, one thing that makes this game great is you have Russ Selwyn, who's been the Freeport coach for a very long time, the fixture of Nassau County Conference 1, probably along with Coach Krumenacker over at Farmingdale, right? And you have Coach Shippos here, a Baldwin graduate, a Conference 1 guy himself, played in the conference when he played for at Baldwin High School, Steve Carroll, and now here he is, coaching Massapequa. So it's a great Conference 1 flavor here with all the coaches.
And that's what a little bit of what Shippo said as well. He said, it's still cool for him, he said, facing guys like Russ Selwyn and Buddy Krumenacker. He says, I honestly think that our conference is the best of the best. He goes, I'm biased. He goes, but between Buddy and Russ, you have, in my opinion, two of the top five coaches on Long Island. And he said it's going to be really weird when they decide to hang it up, if they ever do. But he said, it's my 12th year. All I know is coaching against them. He said he got a help from both Selin and Krumanacher when he was a young coach. And, of course, again, 1997 graduates, we played against those guys, too, when they were the head coaches. So John Lubin doesn't get the ball. It was a return instead by Jaden Gordon, the younger of the two Gordon brothers, the sophomore. Just 5'5", 150, but again, just an incredible talent. A great football family are the Gordons.
Sure, and pretty good return right there. You know, when you're starting the ball north of your 30-yard line, your 35-yard line, you're in pretty good shape. You know, in high school football as a starting point. You know, and getting back to what we were talking about before, Dylan, you know, it's the Freeport guys also have, you know, on their staff, Jimmy Jones, who was a legend of Freeport, played at Hofstra, and a legend at Freeport High School, and Steve Probst, who played at Farmingdale, was the quarterback award and Snyder Award winner, a great player in the conference. So you have all kinds of Conference 1 guys still in Conference 1 between the two teams, and interesting dynamic. And
Probst, as you said, the former Snyder Award winner out at Farmingdale, probably in that ring of honor of quarterbacks to have played at Farmingdale. That's who Gordon is learning from day in and day out as Gordon scoots it out to the right side. Nice gain there on first down, probably 8 or 9.
Yeah, the ball's got to be in my opinion, the ball's got to be in Gordon's hands as much as possible to get him on the edge and try to make plays. But, of course, there needs to be a balance. You know, it just can't happen. You can't just do it every time.
Freeport wants to move quickly. There's John Lubin. And how about that read? You could see the attempted block was by Clement, but instead, DeVito comes in. Johnny Boy DeVito, the junior, gets in, makes the tackle for a loss.
Well, Freeport went fast there. They got right back over the ball. They went right back over the ball and they threw the ball right away. And a great tackle there, you could see by DeVito just wrapping him up and getting him on the floor. And great job right there. And now Freeport's back in a third, 6 situation to go. They really need a first down here to keep this drive alive.
DeVito, a guy who impressed over the summer on 7-on-7s. Get to that in a moment. Gordon in motion. He is sacked.
It looks like when the play started that he was going to have Gene Lubin on an outcut open early, but he couldn't get it to him. And he just kind of flushed out of the pocket and had to pull the ball back down.
Ryan Wieserak with the sack, the junior, 6'2", 200. And again, a guy last year watching and learning from guys like D'Alessandro and Valentine. And look at him step up here. He's a quiet kid, but a little bit of a difference this year. He got in the weight room a little bit more, gained a little more confidence, and now he's probably the hardest hitter on this Chiefs team. Shippo said it's really funny. The sound that he makes with his pads is different. He said he likes that sound a lot.
No doubt. The sound of a good collision. Not everybody has that body speed to create that sound. And when you have a guy that does it, it's a great sound.
And we know Wieserak's ability on the lacrosse field as well with a long pole. One of the better in that position in Nassau County. So Massapequa looking for a little more here. A 7-0 lead with 7 minutes left in this first half. And the Chiefs get, again, really good field position out at midfield.
Chiefs doing a good job on defensive tackling on the perimeter, right? Against the Freeport skill players, getting them wrapped up, getting help, getting hats to the ball. You saw Wieserak right there in coverage, coming downhill and getting involved on the pressure on Gordon. And then once again, they had the ball in pretty good field position on their own 46, with plenty of time to get a good drive going here. And Freeport needs the defense has played pretty well so far, other than one real big play. So hopefully they can, for their benefit, get some tackles here and slow down the Massapequa offense.
A bit different look here on the offense. Handoff with Villalta again with 27 leading the way. There's a flag, though, as Villalta turned the corner and knocked out of bounds. It looks like it might have been a hold on 2-7 DeLuca on the way.
Looks like that one's coming back, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Running a similar play they ran for the touchdown once again.
I see 27, the lead blocker. Let's see, did he get the hold?
Just sweep right there.
Yep, that's where the flag literally went into his numbers. So he was certainly, according to the officials, the guilty party.
You got to keep those hands inside and when you can. And, when the defender feels like he's being held, he flail a little bit, right? Act like you can't get loose, and maybe you can influence the call a little bit.
When we spoke with Kevin Shippos through 2 weeks, it's the experienced offensive line. You're breaking in a new quarterback in Delanto, a playmaker in Fountain. You've got experienced wide receiver in Nugent coming back. Delanto's done a really good job. 2 varsity starts. He looks like someone who's been playing football for a long time, but he said right now we're firing on all cylinders. There's Delanto. Forced out of bounds, just flings it up. And look at this. He finds Fountain, and Fountain finds the end zone. Touchdown, Massapequa, a 41-yard touchdown. Mike, it was from nothing to the house.
Sure, Delanto's been very impressive to me so far in his ability to sort of, make a little something out of nothing sometimes, right? He had a couple plays where they were called passes. He turned them into scrambles. And here he's got a called pass, and he scrambles a little bit. There's a little bit of pressure coming here in his face, and he just throws that one deep, sees Fountain, who got behind the coverage. I think the Freeport secondary started looking at the quarterback a little bit and weren't covering receivers, and that's the result right there. Great play by Delanto, and Fountain, all he had to do was catch it and run with it, right? Which sometimes isn't always so easy, those wide open plays, but when it's Fountain, it's going to be 6.
That's a nice safety valve to have, right? When you're not sure what you could do, you just fling it downfield, and you find Ryan Fountain. So the Massapequa Chiefs extend their lead 14-0, 6:41 left in this Nassau Conference 1 showdown. You're watching it right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
Welcome back to Burner Middle School. The Chiefs, a 14-0 lead. Delanto to Fountain for 41 yards. Has extended a lead, 14-0 here at 6:41 left in the second quarter. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford with you here for this battle of traditional Nassau Conference 1 powerhouses. Chalemi, and then you see the wind again being a factor, right? Takes it off the tee. You've got John Lubin deep along with Jaden Gordon. And Gordon isn't the guy that you want to necessarily kick it to either.
Aren't a lot of good options right there, to kick it somewhere else.
All right, so Chalemi, I think he's finally got it down, right? Or he's going to ask for a little help.
You can see how windy it is.
He'll get some help from Nico Cura.
I was passed before Mr. Miller, the white hat really blowing right there. We didn't ease into fall, did we, Dylan? We kind of went right for it, huh?
Like a Weezerick tackle. Straight in your face. And it's Gordon. Chased down from behind. Still breaks it. Look at this return by Gordon. Comes to the Massapequa sideline. Cuts up the sideline. Gets a great block upfield as well. And he's forced out at about the 46-yard line.
Sometimes, Dylan, you see those returns when the ball bounces around a little bit, the coverage guys just get a little bit out of sorts out of their lanes because they see the ball on the ground. Everyone's like, loose ball, And next thing you know, a couple blocks, and Gordon's off and running.
There was a late one you saw there, right, by Isaiah Curtin, 15. So Freeport, good field position here, looking to get back into it our Russ Sellens guys. Through 2 weeks, he said, look, we're kind of feeling our way right now. A lot of young guys up front on the offense and defensive lines as well as linebacker. It's taking a little bit of time to put it together, but we're doing the best we can right now. Freeport traditionally, when they've had the quote-unquote struggles, they're the team you don't want to play in Week 7 or Week 8 or in the postseason.
No, Coach Sellen they'll always improve. One of his sides of a Freeport team, and Coach Sellen's also a guy who, during the week, will put something in you haven't seen. There's always a wrinkle, there's a formation, there's something you haven't seen. He's a big formation guy, offensively, changing up, giving you a lot of looks, and always makes your coach on the fly.
No gain there for Gordon as Wieserick was in on the tackle. Gordon now goes in the air. Far sideline looking for his brother, Jaden, and it is complete.
Had a little fake going there, a flat pass look there, like a little shallow look with the receiver moving with his hands up, and they throw that ball deep instead.
Good looking ball there by Gordon, right? And another kind of jump ball.
Especially with the wind.
Another completion, another time to get John Lubin in the space, and you see Wieserick in on the tackle along with Johnny DeVito.
Freeport using a little bit of NASCAR, going a little fast here, a little bit of tempo, trying to throw the defensive Massapequa off a little bit.
Handoff, trying to cut inside, and he doesn't get the push. The push goes back the other way as the running back.
Looks like Haran in there.
I think that was
bunch of hats.
Yvonne Neese, number 8. And again, more of a hurry up. See Nugent, 88, in on the tackle as it was Davenport trying to push himself forward. He does that for a first down. And, yeah, hurry up now. It's not that 2-minute offense, right? But you're trying to catch the defense off guard. You're not going to catch him off guard, though. A terrific tackle in the backfield by Shane Haran.
Good job seeing the window right there. Haran playing downhill from his linebacker spot and seeing the open window and coming right downhill, making the play. Great tackle.
And number 5, Haran, 9 tackles on the year now. Watch him again. Captain who loves the game. Look at that pursuit. Fantastic tackle on Davenport. Second and 15. There goes Gordon. Cuts inside, and a terrific run by D.J. Gordon.
There's Gordon at his finest right there. Going back to pass, looking around, pulling that ball down, and just making something out of it. Your scramble guy, your Michael Vick type, Randall Cunningham type of dating myself a little bit.
Terrence Edmond type. I mean, they've had some unbelievable guys right in that position. Incredible athletes who just find a way to get things done. 3rd and 6 from the 17-yard line of Massapequa. Gordon following Davenport, cuts inside. Look at Gordon with the extra burst inside the 5.
You saw a burst, you saw a cut, and then you saw him put his pads down and go downhill and just drive himself forward. That's a great run.
1st and goal in the air. Inside, John Lubin. The push again, and he is downed. Looks like inside the 2. Boswell credited as being part of that tackle. 2nd and goal. More hurry up here from Freeport. Davenport, touchdown, Red Devils.
Davenport bending that one back just a little bit and getting in the end zone on 2 feet. That's a really good drive by Freeport right there, answering the bell. I think tempo, Dylan, was a big plus for them,
Let's see who he follows here. 8, Neese, right? That wide receiver. Good job getting in, creating the hole, and Davenport runs right through it. There's no question here what Freeport will do because they always go for 2. So the Red Devils will, again, attempt here to slice more in to the Massapequa lead after that 2-yard touchdown run. Look at this. And the connection again. John Lubin to Gordon.
Philly special. Right there. There it is. There you go.
So a great response by Freeport.
Hand the ball from the sweep. Hand it back to receiver coming around. Gordon runs deep out to the back of the end zone. The deep drag for the 2-point play. Well done right there. Good looking play.
So 14-8 your score now with 3:30 left.
You know, Dylan, you mentioned it before the 2-point play there, was the tempo seemed to be something that was good for Freeport right there. Kind of caught Massapequa, couldn't get exactly lined up on a couple plays maybe, trying to communicate some adjustments, some formations. Freeport changed formations a few times there. They went back and forth between run and pass with a little bit of Gordon scrambling, right? So really, really nice drive and kind of what they really needed to, keep themselves from falling into a deeper hole here.
We'll take a look at our latest top 10 large school power rankings after 2 weeks of the football season. And you see Garden City, Massapequa, Floyd, Farmingdale, Longwood, Lindy. Those are all traditional powerhouses. West Islip as well. All 2-0. That's your top 7. Mepham looking really good early on. A big win over MacArthur last week. Board Melville drops a little bit off of their loss last week to Longwood, a game that we had for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And then Hempstead cracks the top 10. First time in a while for Hempstead. They are 2-0 on this young season.
Hempstead with a two-headed monster of Stith and Metters. A really good combination right there. Very impressed by Longwood last week, Dylan.
Yeah, they brought that smash mouth from Middle Island back, right?
They brought the wood, that's for sure. They came and they don't do it. They play simple football and they block, tackle, run hard. Good stuff.
Short return there on the kickoff, and Jared Veluzzi and I had a good conversation about Longwood and Week 2 matchups, all those battle for the bridge games as well, all of that on Varsity Media Pass. Again, available on iOS and Android. Those games are fun, huh? I made sure you tuned into that St. Anthony St. Joe's game. That was like old school Sayville Lawrence. I thought it was gonna be like 76-68 there between those two.
Defensive coordinators, I don't know. I don't know if they watched the film this week. One of those things. Sometimes when the offenses, in some games, the offenses get so far ahead of the defense play by play, right? And the defense is chasing them, trying to catch up, right? The offensive coordinator is always ahead, and it just becomes a shootout, and that was certainly the case last Saturday night.
1st and 10 from the 38. Fountain is motion. They'll go the other way to Villalta. And a short gain, if anything, as Knees in there, number 8, you see making a tackle. Yvonne Knees.
He had a nice block at tight end on that touchdown play before.
Yeah, he did, and that was
stealing it down.
I was going to say, he also moves in, plays in the backfield and tight end, moves around a lot depending on the formation. Really smart is Knees on the offense. He's that A receiver, right? And
when Freeport's really good offensively, they have a guy like him who can do a lot of different things, can play tight end, receiver, running back, all those different positions.
Delanto fakes the handoff, throws it downfield. He takes a big knock as well. It's an incomplete pass. Delanto is up, and he's kind of looking at the official thinking maybe that was a roughing the passer. Instead, it'll be 3rd and 9. Didn't get the block there from Villalta, perhaps, that he was hoping for.
Sure, Freeport a little bit of late pressure on the quarterback there. He tried to go to Fountain deep. Good coverage by Freeport right there. On the pass play. Big play for Freeport right here. You assume like maybe you turn the tide a little bit, and or if you're at Massapequa, you're like, let's get a first down. Not a lot of time before halftime. Let's get a drive cooking.
39. Delanto back to pass. Flushed right, throws it towards the sideline, and that's going to be a pass interference penalty. Nugent was your intended target. He dove for the football, as did Javon Edwards, and it looks like they're going to flag Edwards for the pass interference. See the conversation now among the officials. You saw Edwards remonstrating there, and
the secondary guys always feel that way, right? They always feel like I didn't really do it. I didn't do it. It's not a penalty. What do you want me to do?
Well, Bob Miller says otherwise. So it'll be a pass interference penalty, a first down for the Chiefs. And if you are Russ Sellen on that sideline, you're like, you're putting your arms up like, what are we doing? It's 3rd and 9. Let's get the stop. And now it's a fresh set of downs for Massapequa inside Freeport territory.
Sure, he's probably letting his feelings get felt a little bit over there on the other side about the call. And but Massapequa with a fresh set of downs to work over here in pretty good field position. 2:36 and the whole complement of timeouts, I believe, so plenty of time here.
Little change here. So you got Villalta along with DeLuca in the backfield. Handoff goes inside, and it's DeLuca pushing forward.
So you see that, Dylan, they motion Villalta back into the backfield there, right? And they run that sweep play. And what stops it a little bit is, what stops it a little bit is that upfield edge play by Freeport right there makes them turn up inside, and the scraping players are able to make the tackle. So a little adjustment there from Freeport playing that edge a little bit better on that sweep play.
2nd and 8. Delonta, look out, the pressure comes. Great job getting it to Villalta, and a fantastic tackle as well.
And they had that thing set up really nice, and that's a great play by Landon Daly.
Yes, sir.
Daly Landon. Excuse me
you're right. Landon Daly.
Great play right there. They had that thing. They had to rush up the field just as they wanted. 4 players way up the field. He gets between those 2 blockers and makes the play.
It was Anthony Velasquez 7 with the pressure on Delonto, and then Daly makes a big tackle, which sets up a 3rd and 8.
You saw the 2 Massapequa linemen speaking to each other there, right? I think you had him, I had him, you had him, and a great play by them right there to make the play.
Delonto back to pass. Look out, pressure comes, goes up the sideline. That is incomplete. But a great pursuit there by the big man. Number 50 was Danny Cruz.
See some pressure there right there. Forcing the punt right there. Delonta couldn't hang in there with it.
Danny Cruz, 50 for Freeport. Older brother Arnold, you remember him a few years ago, right? That all-state linebacker, part of that last Long Island championship team in 2019. 4th and 7 as Massapequa back to punt. It is Nugent. Gordon will let it go, and it will bounce through the end zone. So let's see what Freeport does here. Look, they already went hurry up, right? So you probably expect a little bit of the same here with 1:01 left in this first half.
Well, Freeport will be getting the ball after halftime first. Massapequa had it first in the game. Freeport will be coming out of halftime with it. So, you have 1:01 here. You don't want to do anything that would put you in a worse position when you're down by 1 touchdown. You don't want to do anything that might give Massapequa the ball back, or they have timeouts. They could use their timeouts to try to punt the ball. So, yeah, very interesting set of downs right here for Coach Selland, I think he's done this a few times before.
Yeah, I think he has. Week 1, a 40-36 loss to Port Washington. Oh, an absolutely wild game. John Lubin, 2 kickoff returns in the game. DJ Gordon goes 40 yards to John Lubin. John Lubin says, "Thanks, bud. I'll get you one right back." He went 40 yards as Gordon was the receiver. 1st and 10. Gordon calls his own number, tries to cut it back. Oh, look at that shiftiness, trying to get some guys on skates.
That's a great 4-yard run right there.
In that loss to Port Washington as well, Gordon had an 8-yard TD run, but it was John McCarthy on the other side for the Vikings. Threw for 238 and 2, ran for 117 and 2, including the winning 9-yard touchdown off a botched snap with 3 seconds left as Port Washington goes to Freeport and gets the win. 2nd and 6. Another really good run. Look at Davenport go, tucks the football, goes towards his sideline, and he gets out to about the 40. They'll move the chains, which stops the clock.
That's what I'm talking about, covering the field, Dylan. He wound that all the way back. You need to, if you see the play going right, the players on the back side of the football need to stay calm and not get past where they started from too far, because it could be winding right back at you. And there it was right there with Davenport right in the backside defender's face. Davenport limping a little bit right there. Hopefully he's okay. But all of a sudden now, Dylan, we have some time left here, and it's halftime.
Yeah, you saw Miller there saying to wind the clock.
Right.
So that was the last play of the first half, and it is Massapequa with a 14-8 lead. But Mike, Freeport showing some life there, especially late in that second quarter. Should set up for a really fun second half as well.
What could happen here in the second half? That's for sure.
Let's take a quick break here, and we'll return for the start of the second half. It's Massapequa with a 14-8 lead. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out to talk it. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
One more time.
Come on, one more.
One more. Riding stance.
2, 1. One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
The Real Taco Tuesday is finally here. Come join us over at Guac Shop October 4th to celebrate National Taco Day, featuring both styles that you guys love, crispy or soft tacos. $5.99 in-store only. Guac and queso is always extra. So I'll see you October 4th for National Taco Day.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
more?
One more. Riding stance.
2, 1.
One more, man?
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring. High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
One more time.
Come on, one more, one more. One more?
One more. Riding stance.
2, 1.
One more, man?
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
The Real Taco Tuesday is finally here. Come join us over at Guac Shop October 4th to celebrate National Taco Day, featuring both styles that you guys love, crispy or soft tacos. $5.99 in-store only. Guac and queso is always extra. So I'll see you October 4th for National Taco Day.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
One more.
One more. Right stance.
2, 1.
One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
Welcome back to Burner Middle School halftime here. It's Massapequa with a 14-8 lead over Freeport in this Nassau Conference 1 showdown. Massapequa top seed in the preseason. The Red Devils the number 3 seed in the preseason, and it was Massapequa getting off to the 7-0 lead with 9:09 left in the second quarter, and it was the super sophomore Tyler Villalta running right side, a fantastic upfield block by Mike DeLuca. That gets him into the end zone, a 29-yard touchdown run. The Chalemi PAT was good, and it was 7-0 for the Chiefs with 9:09 left in the second. And then Paul Delanto, quarterback, rolls out right. Looks like he's in trouble, right? No trouble when you have number 11 down the field. Ryan Fountain makes the catch, a 41-yard touchdown for the Chiefs. And it looks like Massapequa rolling. Chalemi's PAT makes it 14-0, but a little bit of a hurry-up offense by Freeport, and they respond in a really good way as Martise Davenport, their senior running back, he pulls the Red Devils to within a score. They went hurry-up. Here he is for a 2-yard touchdown. Davenport's third touchdown of the year, the senior running back. That was from 2 yards out. And then the Red Devils, they always go for 2, and they got it as well. Really good-looking play as Nazir Jean Lubin. Here you see the handoff, the little bit of a trickery. Davenport, John Lubin, and he hits Gordon in the end zone for the 2-point conversion, which cut the Red Devils' deficit to 14-8. Want to remind everyone, please stick around after the game as Guac Shop Mexican Grill. You see there are 5 locations, Garden City, Jericho, right around the corner here, Wantagh, Freeport as well, in New Hyde Park. Newest sponsor, they've got an exciting giveaway post-game for the winning team. We'll have it on the field, so coming up right after the game, Guac Shop. That should be a lot of fun. So we'll take another break, and we'll have the start of the third quarter. When we return, it is Massapequa with a 14-8 lead. You're watching it right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
One more time.
Come on, one more. One more?
One more. Right stance.
2, 1. One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
The Real Taco Tuesday is finally here. Come join us over at Guac Shop October 4th to celebrate National Taco Day, featuring both styles that you guys love, crispy or soft tacos. $5.99 in-store only. Guac and queso is always extra. So I'll see you October 4th for National Taco Day.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
One more time.
Come on, one more. One more?
One more. Right stance.
2, 1. One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out into talking. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring.
And welcome back to Burner Middle School here in Massapequa. Just about set to start third quarter, and it's Alex Chalemi, number 32 there, set to kick the ball off deep for Freeport. Our Nazir Jean Lubin and Jaden Gordon. It's a pick your poison situation, and it goes to Gordon. Scampers up the far sideline, and he's pushed back and thrown down inside his own 30-yard line to the Freeport offense, which we saw when they were at their best, Mike Hungerford, late in the first half. They went hurry up, and they caused some issues for the Massapequa defense.
Sure, went a little tempo, trying to force Pequa to maybe not, get back to just that base defensive look, get lined up a little bit quicker, give them some formations and stuff. And it was pretty successful. It seemed like they found some plays that worked. They made some plays on some scrambling from Gordon. So see if they come back to something similar here in the second half.
Freeport starts off at their own 30-yard line, and there is DJ Gordon. Tucks it under. Fumble, though. And you see the scramble for the football. And I think you see the hands, and looks like Freeport recovered, and it was Gordon, looks like, actually recovering his own.
Well, Dylan, tonight's the first real cool night of the season, right? Kind of really pretty chilly. And
well, you can see also the even on the stripes there, you can see the breeze.
Right, and Freeport stayed outside during the halftime. They didn't go inside, and Massapequa went in to Vernon Middle School here, and a little chilly, right?
Some movement on that right side of the line. It was a 2nd and 5, and Bob Miller says, back it up. It'll be a false start on the offense.
Yeah, unfortunate right there, and had a pretty successful first down play, giving them a nice second down. Now they're back to 2nd and 9. And I think for Freeport, it's going to be about Gordon, right? Him touching the ball and making the plays, and in this second half, trying to get him freed up.
And there is Gordon. Looks for John Lubin, gets him into space. He's got a blocker upfield, and he's just pushed out by Fountain. That had the potential, Mike, of 6 points.
Either way, maybe, sort of. It looked like at first maybe that ball was going to get intercepted, right? And from where I was standing, it looked from the press box here, it looked that way. But great play by Lubin.
And again, let's hurry things up. Another fumble as Davenport had the football. And again, it stays with the Red Devils.
Yeah, that's not what Russ Ellen wanted right there. They had to
playing
play.
with fire,
there was a lot of confusion there in the play what they called. A couple guys going the wrong way. Lucky really not to lose any yardage right there.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 for Freeport as Gordon takes a look at his sideline. You see a conversation here among the receivers closest to us. Jean Clement was 4 doing it. Gordon over the middle. He finds Jean Lubin again, who breaks a tackle, has a blocker upfield, cuts it inside, and a big reception by Nazir Jean Lubin.
Found Lubin, Nazir Jean Lubin right up in the seam right there. Good ball by Gordon. Kind of ran that route like it looked like, I think maybe Fountain thought he was taking it really deep up the field and kind of cut it back underneath a little bit. Slowed it down.
Yeah, Davenport the carry, and looks like he's a little bit shaken up, and as is their best lineman, Jonathan Meza. So that's a concern if you are Freeport. But look, number 11, John Lubin, he is your big play guy, right? Really good in space.
You got to try to get him the ball. It's Lubin and Gordon handling it.
And when you talk Freeport, an incredible, almost like none other, their history and their tradition, certainly, and Nassau championships. Look at that. That's not Long Island championships. You feel bad almost for Paul Longo and William Floyd. You do everything to get to the championship, and you're like, Freeport again? And you see all the wins there by the Red Devils. 7 all-time, including 18 and 19, beating William Floyd. That first one was in 2000, an overtime win over Comac. Also 9 Nassau championships for the Red Devils. Sorry that you have to see this as a Farmingdale guy, but a lot of Farmingdale there on the other side of those losses to Freeport. Oceanside as well as 18. But look at that. They went 16, 18, 19. You won LICs during that time, and that's not even like the greatest years, right? You see those 8, 9, 10 fantastic years there as well for Freeport.
Great program. Traditionally able to, as you see, Cruz looks like he's Meza, I'm sorry, he's up off the ground, and he's going to be able to get off on his own power, but with some a little limp there. Hopefully he's okay. Freeport, great program. It's been tremendous for years at this now. This is nothing new. They just go kind of reload a little bit, and tremendous respect for Coach Sellen and what he's done over the years with his program.
So they rush and they sprint to the line. 2nd and goal from the 1. And that's the last thing you want if you were on that offense. Anything but a flag, and it is a false start. And again, you wonder how much the loss, at least for a player or two, you hope it's only that, of Meza, that lone experience that you have as the guy who moved over, Meza did, from the tackle spot to center because they needed that leader and that guy who has that experience from that position. So this backs him up 5 yards. It is 2nd and goal from the 6.
Got Danny Cruz in there. It looks like it's center now. Number 50.
Gordon tries to bounce it to the outside. Cuts back inside. Still on his feet. Finally downed. And it's Wieserak again, 44, in on the tackle.
Great pursuit by the Freeport defense. By the Massapequa defense of the football right there. Kind of, Gordon's one of those guys that wants to keep going. If he can just turn the corner on you and get himself north-south on you, it's going to be tough to tackle. But they kept stringing it out there and eventually covered the field and got him tackled.
Out of that middle linebacker position, Wieserak goes 100 miles an hour. His strength numbers really went up in the spring as he hit the weight room hard. 3rd and goal from the 6. This time Gordon goes back to pass. Looks for options. Still has the football. Gordon goes to the end zone and he gets in. What an effort by DJ Gordon. A 6-yard touchdown run to tie the score at 14.
He's just so fast. He started rolling a little bit there and started going. You just feel that the edge players on Massapequa just weren't fast enough to get to him. You see there, he's just outrunning him. And that's not anything wrong with what Massapequa is doing. That's just a great play by one of the best players in the conference, if not in all of Nassau County. You see right there in Gordon.
So they tie the score at 14, and again, you wonder how much the PATs come into play, right? Because we know Freeport always goes for 2. They will do it again. It's again John Lubin, and another pass from him, and that is incomplete. The intended target again was the other Gordon, Jaden Gordon.
I like the stuff they're doing down here for the 2-point plays because, when you only have a couple yards to get, a little bit of creativity, the defense is probably a little thrown off from giving up a touchdown right there, and a little creativity is pretty good to work with.
We've got a good one here at Burner Middle School. 14 all is your score, 8:32 left. We will talk more about this game and so much more from Week 3 on Varsity Media Pass. It's your all-encompassing coverage of Long Island football. The Catholics and the Publics will have top 10 plays, highlights, podcasts, interviews, and more. Our season preview show is on Varsity Media Pass. So much more available on iOS and on Android.
What's really interesting right now, Dylan, is early on, it looked like maybe Massapequa was going to kind of run away with it. They got up a 14-0 lead, right? Not much was really going right for Freeport at that point. They had some real negative plays, almost a fumble in their own end zone. But they just got out for the safety, right? Didn't get tackled in the end zone. Not much was going right. And ever since about midway towards about 6 minutes ago in that second quarter, maybe a little bit less, Freeport's defense forced a 3-and-out. They scored. And they've played a lot better ever since. And now we got a fresh start right here, a tie ball game.
It kind of feels, and maybe it's because of, again, Freeport getting the first possession of the second half as Drayton Thomas's kickoff was fielded upfield. It kind of feels like Massapequa's been on defense for a long time, right? Like you kind of bookend the halves or the quarters, the second and the third quarter, with a lot of defense and a lot of hurry up by Freeport.
And early in the game, it felt like exactly the opposite,
Yes.
right? Massapequa had 2 possessions that were fairly long, two drives each, and Freeport only had 3 plays, one of which was a quick kick mixed in. It felt so the game has spun 2 different directions here, and now we'll see what Massapequa's got great field position on their 42-yard line after that squib kick by Freeport, and we'll see what they can Massapequa can do on offense for the first time this half.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Delanto and the boys on offense.
Tight end look here now. Number 5.
See DeLuca gets the handoff, runs it towards the sideline, and he's tackled. I think that was Nice again. Was it 8 in on that tackle?
I think it might have been 8. Yes, correct, Dylan.
He's been really good. A really good-looking athlete is Yvonne Nice.
Massapequa is just so hard to defend because they give you so many formations there. Right before they gave you tight end with the tight end in the trips, another formation to defend.
Another run up the middle and some more fantastic defending.
It's number 50 right there. Commando came in and played center before, Danny Cruz.
Yeah, Cruz had to move over on the offense, as you said, from tackle to center. He's not a regular starter on the defensive front, so maybe has a little bit more freshness to his game. 3rd and 8, though, now.
High school football is such a game of momentum. Guys playing both ways.
And this is a big one here. You've got Fountain as your inside receiver, along with Kura, and Nugent is on the outside at the bottom of your screen. The ball goes to Fountain, and he drops the football. The pursuit came from number 4, Jaheim Clement.
I like the idea, though. They're trying to get the ball out in space to Fountain, let him run around with it a little bit and see if he could break one for a first down. I like the concept. It was a good decision. The execution just needs to be a little bit cleaned up.
So Nugent back to pass, and again, you've got to be very wary of Jean Lubin deep. There you see him at the 25.
Lurking.
Just dying to get a touch. Nugent, a good-looking punt, goes towards the sideline. John Lubin looks at it like one of those guac shop quesadillas. Like, I kind of like a look at that, but I can't get a touch.
Punt returning is just so tough in high school. High school punting is not what you see on TV in college and the pros, and you don't get very many opportunities. And certainly Massapequa's trying to kick that ball out of bounds and not let him run around with it. Freeport's doubling on both gunners right there, so if he gets it, there's a lot of yardage to play with. And, kick it out of bounds and don't let him live to fight another day. Don't give him an easy one if you're Massapequa.
So how about this now? Freeport rallying back from a 14-0 deficit to tie the game, and now they've got the ball back, looking to extend that lead. And you got to figure, right? Russ Allen's probably saying more of the same, boys. Let's keep pushing this pace offensively. So they get the ball on the 20-yard line. Gordon bounces it to the outside, cuts back inside. And that's what DJ Gordon, man, does the best. When it looks like it's broken, when it looks like the hole collapses, he finds another one.
Yep, they flipped the running back there and used him as a blocker. And once again, right, so what's Freeport doing? They're using the quarterback as a running back, and they're making it very, you have to defend all 11 players now when the quarterback's running with the football.
Another first down run for Gordon. Oh, he tries to take it up the middle. Did we get a number of that Mack truck? It is 65. Jason Kowalewski.
He couldn't really take that one to the outside. He tried to just put his foot in the ground, wanted to cut back, and there was Kowalewski to clean it up.
6'1", 240. Look at 65 coming right at you. Bang!
You had number 30 right there from Massapequa. Doesn't make the tackle, but Ryan Korowski, he sort of had the edge and made Gordon kind of step it inside. And there was Korowski. There was Korojewski to clean it up. Big hit.
We'll talk more about Kowalewski in a moment if we get a chance. Number 65 from Massapequa. Gordon is chased by Kowalewski, cuts it inside, actually tripped on the feet of his own up lineman. So tough break for Freeport, but Kowalewski's a great story for Massapequa. Was the first freshman to ever start for the Chiefs a couple years ago in that COVID spring year. Just wise beyond his years. And Shippo said the first time I saw him was actually in grammar school, in elementary school, and he said he was different even back then. Just was more mature. He said, I think this kid gets it. He then saw him on the football field, and he said he just, again, looks different. Gordon goes over the middle, and he finds Jean Lubin again. Out to the Big M in midfield. First down for the Red Devils.
Big hit by Fountain right there. Hopefully he's okay, but a big hit, big stick right there by Fountain, but a good reception and first down.
Yeah, John Lubin banged up. He got hit hard from behind by Fountain, but again, another opportunity as Gordon throws it right over the middle. You see the catch and the hit as well by Fountain.
Kind of settles right in there. The safety's playing pretty deep, right? You know, gaining real depth, and he's trying to get under. It looks like a cramp, though, which is a good sign.
If I can go back to Kowalewski for a moment. So he played as a freshman, right? But he got banged up. He was injured that year. Only played one game. See 65 in there in the huddle. Only one game last year, week 1 against East Meadow. Could barely move. He got the x-rays. There's a good look at him. Had a stress fracture, and it really, Shippo said it's been really tough just watching him just be on the sideline. He knows what a gamer he is, and obviously kind of forced things to change on both sides of the line, right? Because Kowalewski was normally your right tackle. Wakely had to move to the other side there, but great to see Kowalewski back. 4.5 tackles for, we got to call him a 3-year starter, right? Because he was the guy who was the guy in that starting position, playing that tough D tackle as well on this side of the football.
Sure, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the lineman. It always does. You can have the quarterback, you have the skill guys you want, but you need blocking up front. You need time to throw the football. You need blocking to run the football. And you need guys on the defensive line to get off blocks and make plays. So, if sometimes in football we neglect talking about the linemen, sometimes a little bit it kind of goes unheralded unless something bad happens, right? But a major component of being a successful team.
Pitch, the option towards the left side. Davenport gets out past midfield.
Little double option, little speed option look right there. Nice looking play. And they go on a little tempo again here now. They'll get right back over the ball.
Handoff again, Davenport. Look how hard he hit that hole, and he's just pushed back by Wieserak.
Big hit by Wieserak right there. Great job scraping to the football and filling it.
Wieserak, a 6'2", 200-pound junior. You've got Karosky there, you saw as well, number 30. 5'11", 165, a little bit smaller. But that combination inside of Wieserak and Haran, that's a pretty good, fearsome twosome there as your middle linebackers, as the Red Devils call a timeout, and we'll take it with them as well. 4:15 left, third quarter. We've got a ball game here. It's Massapequa Freeport tied at 14. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, sportscasts.
That's complete. First down and more. Touchdown, Oceanside.
Photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Burner Middle School. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Massapequa Freeport tied at 14 here, Friday Night Lights, and we've got a good host of games for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network, all right here on our YouTube channel. Lindy, Northport, back out to Northport we go. That should be a fun one. In black and blue, Suffolk 2, MacArthur Southside, back for a traditional powerhouse game a week or so, right? Like the 7th. Freeport, Farmingdale, Bethpage, Plain Edge, a rivalry game there as well. All of that on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Gordon goes in the air, looking in double coverage, in and out of the hands. That was nearly intercepted by Villalta.
Yeah, threw that one with the double coverage, a little bit of a jump ball, kind of a look again off the quarter roll. Lucky that was intercepted, but you know what? If he intercepts it right there, maybe it's like a punt.
Jaheim Clement was the intended target. There you see in and out of the hands of Villalta. So Gordon back to punt. 4th and 7. You wonder if this is one of those spots where he could potentially fake something. Obviously he doesn't. Gets a really good roll as the ball is downed inside the 20-yard line. Let's pull that upcoming games back left. I didn't get a chance to mention the last couple of them as well. So the rivalry game, right? Bethpage, Plain Edge, that backyard brawl, East Rock, and Cold Spring Harbor and Port Washington, the team that opened eyes in week 1, winning at Freeport. They take on Syosset. That's October 21st. A lot more games we have for you as well. You want to follow us on all our social media handles for more announcements of upcoming games. That's a lot in Nassau. We've got Suffolk. We've got the Catholic High School Football League as well as Massapequa, 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line. Hand off. Run, hard-looking run up the middle. And it was DeLuca again.
Yeah, Massapequa with their deepest starting field position in their own end of the field for the game, I believe, on the inside or just around their own 20-yard line. And see if they can put a drive together, getting back. I think they're going to try to get back to some of the base run plays.
Yeah, we saw a lot of DeLuca, right? 27 running the football in that first quarter. They go back his way, and DeLuca gets the first down run.
You can see those two plays, just base run plays, power-type plays, just trying to get big push up front, hat in a hat, pull that backside guard.
And it's nice when you've got an offensive line of Meany, Smith, Devanzo, Wakely, and Kovalewski. With all that experience, the only guy who's not a senior is actually the 3-year starter there on the right side in Kovalewski. Another handoff, another run, another 5-yard gain. Up the middle went DeLuca.
Yeah, a little similar to how Massapequa started the game. He had, trying to pound the ball inside a little bit, trying to get a push and challenge that Freeport defense. Massapequa, one thing they have, they're good size on the offensive line, a size advantage up front a little bit, trying to weigh you down a little bit. They have almost like a 2 tight end look here.
And now you have Haran and Nugent with Fountain in motion. Go the same way. This time, though, nothing doing. No gain on that one.
Good alignment there by, Massapequa tries to give you that tight end right with the extra Y-off player, and we try to get Freeport to adjust to it. Freeport kind of, moves a little bit, and they run the ball backside, try to get favorable numbers. But Freeport makes the play, holding it to a 3rd and 5 here.
3rd and 5 from the 35. 2:10 left in this third quarter.
They try to get Fountain on a little quick out here.
A lot of clapping you saw there, right, by Delanto.
Also have 88 Nugent right here on the bottom of the screen. Looks like on a single.
Handoff comes this way. It's Villalta. Again, Villalta with a burst down to the 20, the 10, touchdown, Massapequa. 65 yards to the house.
Easy, simple play. Blocked excellently. Ran well. Everything was right there for Massapequa on that play. For Walt to take it to the house. Well done.
And it was the same recipe as that touchdown that started the game, right? Where Villalta follows the block by DeLuca. That was for 29. This was for 65 yards. And what an important response for the Chiefs after that momentum seemed to be going Freeport's way. Chalemi's PAT is up, and it is good.
Emphatic answer from Massapequa right there with the big play. They found that sweep has become a nice play for them, right? Big play here tonight. Having, DeLuca out there blocking. So now back and forth we go, Dylan, right? Back and forth we go.
We showed you the tradition of Freeport a little while ago, but Massapequa's got terrific championship pedigree as well, and we'll show you some of that. There was those 3 Long Island championships, and what a win it was last year, beating Walt Whitman 38-35. The tight win over Connecticut back in 1994. They went back-to-back, tight win over Longwood in 1993. So 3 Long Island championships, and how about those 8 Nassau Conference 1 championships? Again, back-to-back. That tough one I thought was 2020, right, where you had to play at Oceanside and beat the Sailors there. They did that 36-29. You see that win over Freeport as well. It all started with that win over Sewantica back in 1980. Co-champs a year later. That great Hempstead team as well, tight win. The Dalers as well, and 8 Nassau Conference 1 championships for Massapequa.
Sure, great pedigree of coaching in Massapequa. You know, Coach Hippo is the latest in the line of a number of great coaches. Lou Andre coached there for many years, championship coach at a few different schools, but did a great job coaching at Massapequa, 80s into the 90s.
And I think, you know, we said it as we were leaving Ward Melville last week, kind of battling the traffic, trying to get out of the parking lot there. But it kind of feels like Massapequa really takes after kind of who Shippos is, right? Like that blue-collar, lunch pail guy, just, you know, former wrestler that he is. And look at Gordon with the return outside of the 40. But remember, too, that's, you know, he was a 2-sport star at Baldwin, played football, but he was more known for his wrestling. Of course, went on to Penn State, was an All-American there as well. But that's what I think, that's the culture, I think, now for Massapequa football, right? That lunch pail mentality, and I think Shippos brings a lot of that to this program.
Sure, Massapequa, one of those towns, traditional, very strong youth football programs, Massapequa Mustangs, where they feed the high school program, and, you know, and bringing that mentality. Coach Shippos is certainly a tough athlete in high school and in college, and brings that mentality of coming to work every day and grinding it out, and, you know, doing the things it takes to win.
You mentioned the Mustangs. 32 out of the 49 kids on this roster played in the Mustangs at one point or another. About 20 of them kind of those hardcore throughout their childhood Mustangs. Look at this run up the middle. Will anyone catch Davenport? The answer is no. Martise Davenport, 57 yards to the house.
A little of that cross zone action. I'd like to see that again. I know we'll get a great view of that replay again. A little cross zone action, and Davenport hits it. And when he gets north-south, he is going. Pull that backside guard, number 73 with a good block. That was Austin Patience coming around, all 240 pounds of him coming through.
So 21-20, and again, we know that Freeport will go for 2, so they're going for the lead. And saying no was Weezerak. That was 100 miles an hour against 100 miles an hour off Sunrise Highway there.
I like Weezerak's demeanor. He just plays. Just runs to the football, makes a tackle, gets up and jogs off, and no crazy celebrations or, you know, look at me, look what I did. He just plays football.
You could see why Shippo says the sound of his pads is something he loves to see, and you could just see when you get hit by Weezerak, you get hit. Like, you're not coming back up.
Linebacker's dream right there, kind of unblocked. I'm just going to run to the football, scrape, get downhill, square my pads, and unload.
But
linebacker dream.
Yeah, 100%. These are 2 of the top 3 seeds, right, in Nassau Conference 1 this year. It is the Chiefs 1, the Dalers of Farmingdale 2, and then Freeport 3. An interesting year, I think, in Nassau Conference 1 because you've got a traditional, or at least the last couple of years, right, a powerhouse in Oceanside, a little bit down this year. Obviously, they're reloading at the quarterback position, so they're not like a top 4 team. And I think there's an opening there a little bit, right? Like, is Freeport had some early struggles? Will it be Port Washington? Will it be a Hempstead? Like, there's a lot of teams kind of vying. Like, we don't know who the final 4 teams will be at Hofstra. And I think in previous years, certainly most recent years, we didn't know the order, but we had a pretty good idea who the top 4 would be.
Certainly true. I think there's a little bit of Port Washington's program is improving. Freeport, they went to Freeport and won that game. It was a great win for their program. But Freeport, they fumbled the ball in their own end zone and gave Paul Washington an easy touchdown there. As much as they lost the game, they probably could have won the game as well. And, maybe a good learning experience for the Pequa players, going forward. But Port's definitely on the rise, on the way up. And you have traditional teams like Farmingdale, Massapequa, Freeport here. And Oceanside might be a little bit not as strong as they've been. They've had a couple players hurt. They're hopefully getting those guys back soon. So, it's a little bit of a toss-up, right? Anybody can win it.
And Freeport showing here, at least, right? At Burner, against Massapequa. They will be a force to be reckoned with.
I think this is a good sign for Freeport, because if you're a follower of Nassau County football and you look at the first game and you pick up the paper on Sunday morning and you have a Freeport loss to Paul Washington, it's kind of like a bit of a wowza kind of a moment to say, like, that's interesting. I haven't seen that maybe in a really long time. So you say, maybe Freeport's down, and then they come back last week against East Meadow, and they get a win there. And now they're certainly proving they're certainly showing tonight that they're improving week by week, and they're definitely not like, oh wow, let's count Freeport out. You're never counting Freeport out of the mix.
Yeah, I'm looking even more forward to that game on the 7th, right, at Farmingdale. That should be a lot of fun at Don Snyder Stadium. Two guys. If you combine the wins, I think, from Buddy Grumenacher and Russ Sellen,
you're over 500.
Yeah, you are atop of that list all time. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Massapequa trying to get going again offensively. Delanto has Fountain in motion. Calls his own number. And nothing doing. You saw a little bit of a pause there by Delanto as the tackler came in. It was DJ Gordon doing so.
Good job right there, staying on the backside. We're talking about covering the field, right? And half in the field right there. Gordon's kind of hanging on the backside of the play for the quarterback pulling the ball and makes the play.
Final minute, third quarter. 21-20, the lead by Massapequa. The Chiefs with a 2nd and 11 from their own 28-yard line. Fake handoff again. Delanto swarmed and taken down before he reaches the 30.
Well, quarterback counter, quarterback power, however you want to describe it. They're all similar in type.
And Massapequa will not, it seems, have to run another play here in this third quarter. And I don't know, you're starting to wonder, right, the specials, those point afters, if they could loom large here, right, where it's Massapequa, Chalemi making all of his PATs, and looks like they will have to get maybe one more play off here in this third quarter. It is Delanto, back to pass, just dumps one, looking for a Fountain, and that one is incomplete, and that is the final play of the third quarter. We got a ball game for you here from Burner Middle School. It's Massapequa leading Freeport 21-20 in this Nassau Conference 1 showdown right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
One more time.
Come on, one more. One more?
One more. Right stance.
2, 1. One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro.
Want more?
Welcome you back to Burner Middle School. Dylan Butler, Mike Hungerford with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Final quarter of regulation coming up, and it's Massapequa with a 21-20 lead over Freeport. We invite you to stick around post-game, where Guac Shop, our newest post-game show sponsor, will have an exciting giveaway for the winning team. That comes up right after the game. Guac Shop Mexican Grill, Garden City, Jericho, just around the corner in Wantagh. If you're a Freeport Red Devils fan, they are in town, also at New Hyde Park. Guac Shop Mexican Grill.com.
Dylan, in the last 12 minutes, it's your job to look on that phone of yours and find out how far is the Guac Shop from here.
Listen, we got you covered today with our sponsors, right? You got the food from Walk Shop. You got Body Armor, right? Getting you some nice drinks as well. You are fully covered. 4th and 10 as Nugent is back to punt.
Yep, punt formation here from Massapequa. They're not doubling on the gunners right now. Defending the formation, making sure it's nothing's tricky happening.
High snap. It backs up John Lubin, and he'll again be unable to return as the ball is downed at the 44-yard line.
Well, once again, I think one of the things that's come up, Dylan, we haven't made mention of is they've had great field position here in the second half. They've had this would be their 4th drive, I believe, starting around their own 40-yard line or better. A couple returns off the kickoffs by Gordon and a couple punts here, with the wind and the ball being down. So great field position for Freeport to get a drive started. He had down by 1 on that a 2-point conversion and the extra point exchange being the difference.
We mentioned that opening week loss at home to Port Washington. Well, a good response by Freeport. They won in week 2, 38-14 over East Meadow. By the way, welcome back to Vinny Massey. Great to see him back on the East Meadow sideline. Martise Davenport had 12 carries for 121 yards and 2 scores. Gordon threw for 93 yards, had a 65-yard TD pass to his brother Jaden. And then DJ Gordon also had a 61-yard touchdown run to boot. Inside handoff, and nothing doing. Davenport's asking for the face mask, but
he was pretty adamant about it when he got up, and so was Gordon, but the officials didn't see anything, so I don't know if it was a face mask, it might have been a piece of a shoulder pad there.
Yeah, Mike Comel, the senior, 83 in on the tackle, a 2-yard loss. His brother RJ, you remember him a few years ago as a impact defensive end. 2nd and 12. Oh, great fake by Gordon. And look at him scoot out towards the first down marker.
Sweep read right there. Great play for an athlete like Gordon off the sweep read. Tempo here.
Brings up a very manageable 3rd and 2. Gordon back to pass. Tries to get it to Jean Lubin. And just passed a little bit in front of him. If he went right where John Lubin was, I think there was space to go, certainly to get a first down run.
That was the 3rd and 1 call. Looks like now Freeport's going to punt it.
And again, you can't, it's dark now, you can't see, but the wind is still blowing in Freeport's favor, so you could potentially get a nice aided burst of wind on this punt, which will be a Gordon again. Oh, nearly. And look at this. Comel is going to get called for running into the kicker. That was a 4th and 2. So we'll get a first down here for the Red Devils.
Either way, if it's of the 5-yard variety, it'll be a first down. If it's a 15-yard variety, it's a first down, and then a whole bunch more.
Yeah, he didn't even knock down Nugent. So it's a running into the kicker. But, yeah, 5 yards on a 4th and 2 moves the chains and gives the Red Devils some extra life.
That's a tough situation the kids get into, right, when they kind of get freed up on punt rush, and there they are, and they're, I'm pretty close to being able to get a block and not block it, and very tough, unfortunate flag right there if you're Massapequa. And a very fortuitous break if you're Freeport.
Yeah, let's see if they can capitalize here.
Freeport's had a couple good breaks this half. They had a couple fumbles they fell on top of, right? And one near interception that was dropped. Though it would have been like a punt more than likely in that play
and
on the interception.
Flag there towards the sideline of Freeport. So maybe a sideline warning there.
Illegal illegal participation, substitution.
That will back them back 5 yards to the 48.
It was closer to where they were before, but they have 4 more downs to work with.
Yeah, it's not 4th down.
Good trade.
All right, watch John Lubin at the bottom of your screen here. Handoff, though, goes the other side, and it's Davenport
Haran.
And this is be interesting too, right? Davenport lost his lid, so he's got to go off for a play. And you mentioned Haran in on the tackle. The captain just loves football. He's filled in nicely last year when guys got hurt, but he spent the offseason in the weight room, big part of their 7-on-7s. He's that plugger of the gaps, right? Real good at coming downhill. 2nd and 16 now for Freeport. Gordon rolls to his right, cuts it inside of Wieserak, and he's taken down by Comel.
As soon as Gordon started to roll a little bit, Wieserak just he went on a dog right there and came and just kind of flushed it out and made Gordon pull the ball down and run around, and the pursuit got to him.
Comel, a guy who didn't play as a junior, came out this year as a senior, tough kid. The problem, though, is he had that year missed, right? So he's still playing catch-up, but you can see what he can do on that defensive line. 6'2", 175-pound senior. 3rd and 16 for the Red Devils.
They've gotten Gene Rubin, kind of freed up a little bit underneath the dropping safeties a little bit off the deep ball.
Gordon over the middle. Oh, swatted down. What a play by Haran. Jean Lubin was the intended receiver, and that was dead on. A fantastic job by Shane Haran to knock that one down.
Got some good depth there.
Watch the middle linebacker, Haran, here, over the middle.
Up turned and ran and got some good depth. Got his hand up at the last minute to knock that ball down. That was where they found Lubin a few times in that little area there, that deep inside middle.
That was a first down and maybe even more. Really good punt by Gordon. It'll be downed inside the Massapequa 10-yard line.
We're looking right here, Dylan. I think this will be one of the most important possessions of the game right here. You have, 8 minutes and change to play, and you have Massapequa starting deep in their own end. Freeport down by a point. That extra point, 2-point exchange looming large right now. And if you're Freeport, if you can keep them down here and they can punt, you can do a kind of a bit of a win situation. You probably get great field position again. If you're Massapequa, let's just get a first down. Let's get 1 first down. Let's get maybe 2. And if we have to punt them, we maybe will flip the field on them a little bit and give Freeport a much longer field to play against.
Massapequa opening the year 32-20 over an improved Baldwin team. And then a 27-0 win here under the lights a week ago over Syosset. This certainly their toughest test to date. Handoff on first down. Up the middle we go. And another nice run. It was DeLuca.
Good 5 yards on first down right there.
Actually, I think it was Villalta, 25.
That was Villalta that time, yep.
So 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 from the Massapequa 14.
Fountain in the backfield right now. And a shift.
That's the other thing Massapequa will do, right? Play some mind games. Oh, what a cut. But the help comes. He got past that initial would-be tackler, but a host of Red Devils came in as well to eat up
initial penetration there right off the snap. Looked like number 3 off the edge. Came down. Gordon, and he's just trying to get in that backfield and break at the timing of the play, which he did. Now we have 3rd and about 3.5, almost 4 yards. Big down right here.
Yeah, here we go. Chiefs, especially where they are on the field, they need to move the chains. And it's a pass towards that sideline, right at that flag, and a little bit in front. A fantastic look as, again, it went to 25. Tyler Villalta, and the super sophomore, comes up with a super play.
I love how they just keep switching between using DeLuca and Villalta in different roles. That time Villalta was lined up as the up back right there, the sniffer right there, the Y off the H, whatever you want to call him, and he gets out in the flat. And he gets open right there, and just using the guys in different spots is really entertaining.
And he broke that initial tackle. I think if he would have got wrapped up there by number 2, Jaden Gordon, he would have been not. They would have forced them to punt the football.
Sure, nice looking play by Massapequa to get the first down. And, you know, they do a great job, the Massapequa's coaching staff, of putting their playmakers in spots to make plays. You know, and lining them up in good spots and giving them spots to like small catch and runs, but all of a sudden add up to a lot of yardage.
2nd and 15 from the Massapequa 15. Pass is complete out at the 25-yard line, and a collision there. As both Gordon and Dean Vitale a little bit banged up.
Gordon might be a little bit cramped there, I hope. Big collision, though.
Big reception by Vitale, the junior.
He kind of sat it down right in that pocket right there. Dylan, was a good job by him sitting it down.
And Gordon doing a lot of tough running in this game, you're right. Looks like he cramped up. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Chiefs of Massapequa. See, they go to Valley Stream Central, a team that's been battling, I think, this week. I think last I saw they were scoreless with Hempstead, I believe. They are home for Oceanside, at Port Washington, and then the rivalry game, right? At home against Farmingdale on the 22nd, and they end the regular season at Hempstead. So certainly when you look at that schedule, it's that 10-22 game. We'll look now at Freeport's upcoming schedule, and they've got a tough road as well, right? You go to Hempstead, you go to Farmingdale, you're home for Syosset, that great rivalry, right, renewed with Baldwin on the 22nd, and then you end the season at home against Oceanside.
Sure, this is the first of what I guess you would say are the big heavy hitter games between the Conference 1 traditional powers, Freeport and Massapequa. And, of course, you have Farmingdale against Freeport, Farmingdale against Massapequa. So you just have those games coming up. And, you know, as we discussed, Oceanside maybe being a little bit not as talented as they've been in previous years. But I still think Oceanside's very, very dangerous.
3rd and 1 off that Vitale catch. Big play here for the Chiefs if they can move the chains. Handoff up the middle, lowering the shoulder. Point of contact. Was the push there? The run.
He's not going to have it. Doesn't look like.
Was the Luca.
Very close.
And it looks like he's right at the 30, and they will move the chains.
Tough run right there. I thought on first view he might have been, he was a little short.
DeLuca, 6 foot, 185, came into the game with 30 carries for 121. I think he might be somewhere near that 30 carry number right now. He has been a workhorse tonight for Massapequa.
And they've gone back and forth between him and Villalta being the big hitter, you know, the home run hitter, play guy for the game.
Delanto back to pass, finds Fountain. Fountain finds the sideline, and Fountain, will he be caught? The answer is no. 70 yards to the house. Ryan Fountain, touchdown Massapequa.
They've been trying to get Fountain that ball coming across the middle, right? Those shallow under routes, you know, on those shallow under routes all game long. They got him one, they got him tackled, and that time he caught it, was able to run away from his defender and turn it into a touchdown for Massapequa. He's a great job of getting underneath and just kind of getting casual and you know, losing himself a little bit under there, and all of a sudden he's open, and the Freeport defenders kind of lost him. And off he goes.
Yeah, that's where you got to make that initial tackle, and that's where Jaden Gordon wasn't able to. And this, the way this game is going, a massive PAT here for Chalemi, because again, Freeport will, regardless of the situation, always go for 2. Low snap, the kick is up, and it is good. So Chalemi has been on fire here tonight after, again, some early struggles from the kicking team. So Chalemi gets the PAT, extends the Massapequa lead to 28-20. Take a quick break here. 4:23 left in the fourth quarter. You're watching this Nassau Conference 1 showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Come on down Sunday, September 25th for National Quesadilla Day. Quesadillas are only going to be $5.99. That's right, in-store only. Quesadillas are starting at just $5.99. Guac and queso are always extra. See you at Guac Shop for National Quesadilla Day on Sunday, September 25th.
Back at Burner Middle School. I want to thank the fine folks at Guac Shop. Again, our newest post-game show sponsor. Guac Shop will have an exciting giveaway for the winning team. We'll have that tonight right after the game. Mike, though, I don't know. I haven't heard if there is a giveaway for the announcers as well. I think it's just for the winning team. At least tonight it is. But great stuff from Guac Shop. Those 5 locations throughout Nassau County. Thank them again for their sponsorship. Also want to thank Body Armor for their sponsorship as well.
Gotta love people that want to support high school athletics in Nassau and Suffolk County, Long Island. Not enough of that. If you listen to the broadcast, you know people in the businesses that do. Get them to support what goes on in student athletes in schools here on Long Island and wherever you happen to live and you're watching it from, because it's important for kids to do these things.
Chalemi bounces his kick, and it is fielded at about the 20. There goes John Lubin, and you could see why you don't want to kick to him, huh? You get him into space, and he is that express train just running up that field.
Once again, Freeport with pretty good, really good field position, north of the 35-yard line now with 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go. They're only down 1 score. You don't have to be in a crazy hurry. You have plenty of time. And I believe you have 2 or 3 of your timeouts, so you're in pretty good shape. And, so we'll see if they can mount the drive here. But the game's been made by big plays, right? Dylan, we've seen a lot of home run type of big plays.
Yeah, Villalta, a 65-yard run. That Delanto to Fountain for 70 yards. Davenport before that rushed for 57 yards to the house for Freeport. There is Davenport. Shoulder down. Great job turning and spinning and getting out toward the 45-yard line.
Good tackle by Wakely right there. One of the players to watch at the beginning of the game defensively, right, for Massapequa.
Yeah, he's another guy too, right, as we'll talk about him more after this play. Handoff again, Davenport cuts it inside and again pushes forward towards that big M in midfield. But, yeah, 55 Wakely, a converted tight end when he came up from JV a year ago. So Shippo said, look, we needed a guy at guard, and he's a team guy. So he put him there. He became better and better as the season went on last year. Just a tough kid that you can count on in the right spots to be hard and physical and understand what the offense needs. Also defensively, like Matt Smith, a tremendous defensive end. And he says that between the two of them at the guard spots as well as the ends, as good as they come in Nassau County. Look at the juke by Gordon. He gets to the second level. It's a game of big plays, yes, sir. And Gordon with the most recent 54 yards to the house for the touchdown.
That was the cut of the year. Are you kidding me? Come on now. That's like a video game.
That's Madden right here. Watch Gordon.
X, circle button, square. Boom, there you go. Wow. And acceleration.
Here we go.
I didn't pay to come here to watch him tonight, but I would pay to watch him play football. This guy is fun to watch.
DJ Gordon, the latest in a game full of big plays. And now the Red Devils, again, they will go for 2 with a chance to tie. 3:11 left. Fans from both teams getting excited. And the Red Devils, they want to talk this one over. You've got to be precise. Such an important 2-point conversion. You've got the timeouts. You might as well take one in such a critical situation.
you say to yourself, you only got to pick up a couple yards, but it's a little bit more complicated than that when you're down here. The end zone is very tight and very, you don't have a lot of room to throw the ball into the end zone. The defense could flood the area pretty well. Tough to throw the ball from the 3-yard line to find open people. So they ran a little Philly special before. They had another little nifty play with like a sweep pass look that they didn't get. And then they had, so it's interesting to see what they will come up with here on this 4th down. 2-point conversion play.
You mentioned the game of big plays. It started with Tyler Villalta, 29-yard touchdown run, made it 7-0. Delanto hit Fountain for 41 yards, and it looked like the Chiefs were off and running, right? 14-0 in the second quarter, but Davenport, that important 2-yard touchdown run with 3:30 left in the second quarter. Freeport gets the ball coming out, and then DJ Gordon gets a 6-yard touchdown, ties it at 14. Villalta comes back, goes 65 yards. Martise Davenport with the response to 57 yards. Delanto to Fountain for 70, and then DJ Gordon, 57. 2 heavyweights in the middle of the ring going mano a mano.
First downs sold separately.
Yeah.
Not part of the game tonight. We don't need a lot of first downs to get a lot of points. Here we go.
What are we in the 11th round here? Big 2-point conversion here. Gordon, hands off. They a little trickery. They go the other way. Jean Lubin has room. He's in the end zone. And Freeport has tied the game at 28.
I love that play call right there. I love the creation of the play, how it worked. They ran Lubin on the reverse. There's a receiver in the end zone where he's running the ball to, so you have to defend him with at least one player. So you can see here, Dylan, they come with the reverse to Lubin. But there's a receiver there that you have to defend. So one player is going to cover him, and they're just hoping that he can outrun the next defender.
And you've got to play Gordon as well, right? So he's the one sweeping to the left. You've got to bring your defenders his way, and then you reverse course. You just go the other way, and John Lubin into space shows again what he can do, and we are tied at 28 with 3:11 left in the fourth quarter.
Dylan, coming out of halftime when the coaches came back up to the box here to go up top to be the on the headphones, Steve Probst, one of the coaches from Freeport, said to me, one thing we always have in Freeport is we always have speed and guys that can run around. And on a football field, it's hard to simulate it. It's hard to practice for it. And I don't think the Massapequa guys are slow at all. But you saw Ryan Fountain before is not slow. But DJ, Gordon and
John Lubin.
And Lubin they're just a different speed.
You could even throw Davenport in there, right? He's that guy that you don't really talk a lot about because you're talking so much about the other two. But we saw what he did before going 57 yards to the house.
Davenport's run was dead north-south. He just hit that. That was an old Herschel Walker north-south, just getting right to the, dating myself again, just taking it right to the house. Gordon's run was a cut and an explosion. Crazy stuff.
Kickoff bounced. Ooh, nearly fumbled as well. Picked up. And a short return there by Villalta. Here we go. 3:06 left. Massapequa and Freeport tied at 28. Chiefs.
It's interesting, Dylan, the Freeport program, Freeport's been such a good program for so long, and to lose their first game to Paul Washington probably would certainly call an upset, in the first game of the year. The Freeport players were probably questioning a little bit about, what direction they raised the ship last week in Beat East Meadow. Here they go to the number 1 seed, 2-time defending champs who kind of, beat them last year, and all of a sudden, who are we? We're down 14-0, and now look at the excitement on what they're playing with right now because it's a tie game. And here we got Massapequa's turn. See what they can do offensively.
Delanto, first-year starter as a junior, hands off, up the middle, and a nice first down run. And it goes again to 25, Tyler Villalta.
If you're Massapequa, plenty of time here. Just around 3 minutes to go, you have timeouts. So you run one of your base run plays right away. Maybe Villalta pops it, you don't know. But he gets a solid gain on first down of almost 5.
Villalta comes to the sideline. Back in is 27, Mike DeLuca. Gain of 5 on first down, 2nd and 5 as we approach 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. And you got to say it, I guess, right? In regulation time. Another handoff. And pushing forward was DeLuca. Looks like Nice, again, number 8 in on the tackle.
Little power running right here by Massapequa. Big third down right here, third and a long 2, almost 3.
But to your point about Freeport, look, they were down the last 2 years, right? And we'll detail it as well if we get a chance here late in this game. But you had some incredible athletes who, through no fault of their own, transferred out because of the uncertainty of whether they'd even get a chance to play football in the COVID year that it was. There was no knowledge that it would definitely be moved to the spring. Here's Delanto over the middle, has wide open receiver, and there goes Shane Haran. Touchdown, Massapequa. 59 yards to the house.
Sweep read pass, it looked like right there, Dylan. They had the sweep, as you'll see, we'll see the replay coming up. Delanto on the sweep read. Haran's playing tight end in the formation, just weaks up the field and runs in between the wideout on his side, up the middle of the field, and the safeties gets caught up in the run fake a little bit. He gets up the field and is able to score. Great play call by Massapequa staff. There's so much offense, so many plays, so many formations, so many things you have to defend. Delanto with a really nice ball thrown right there. Easy for Haran to catch. And Haran's been a factor on both sides of the ball tonight. We're doing right defensively, playing linebacker offensively, have a tight end spot.
And offensively really hasn't put up the numbers. In fact, he came into this game with 1 reception for 1 yard. Haran has extended that, the senior, with a massive play for the Chiefs, an important PAT. Chilemi gets it down. The kick is up, and it is good. It was Fazio with the hold and the long snap by Fountain. 1:30 left in this one. Massapequa extends their lead to 35-28.
Interesting on that play call, Dylan. It's a sweep read type of a look, and he's they run away from the tight end there, and he's the backside tight end, so he leaks up the field. I like to wonder if maybe that's is it a read? Is it a determined call? If Haran's not open, can he give the ball? That's the stuff in the RPO world of football nowadays. You have those options, and that was just really, really good stuff. And all over Conference 1, defensive coordinators and different teams know when you play Massapequa, you got to defend a lot of formations and a lot of plays.
Friday Night Lights, huh? Mike Hungerford, it has been a battle. What a game we've had here at Berner Middle School. So happy you're able to join us here on Varsity Media Sports Network. It is Massapequa and Freeport. You said at the very beginning of our broadcast, when it was still daylight out, that this was a battle of heavyweights, and it has been as advertised. Just 2 behemoths, just center of the ring, trading blows.
Over a quarter and a half, it was really all Massapequa, right? And Freeport looked like they were stumbling a little bit, and they ride the ship later in the first quarter, scored a touchdown to get back in the game. And at halftime, came out of halftime, scored again to tie the game, and it's been body blows ever since, back and forth, right, to each other. Big play after big play after big play.
Yeah, in fact, other than that 6-yard touchdown, right, by DJ Gordon to start the third quarter, you've not had a touchdown in the second half of less than 50 yards.
It's amazing. Great stuff. If you're a defensive-minded person, maybe not your cup of tea all the way, but if offense is what you like, and it's certainly what we have today, it's an example of how offenses can be so far ahead of defenses sometimes.
Chilemi kicks off, fielded at the 25 by Jaden Gordon. Runs it towards the Chiefs sideline. And a really good tackle there by Karofsky, the middle linebacker. But still pretty good field position for Freeport. And as we've seen, look, they don't need much to get into the end zone, right? We just said every touchdown's been more than 50 yards. So 1:21 left. You see in the bottom of your screen those 2 timeouts left for Freeport. But here's what we were saying before, Javian Allen, right? What an incredible talent he was. Went to Tennessee Tech where he played as a true freshman. You had Jaden Jackson, Jordan Jackson, Makai Jinks, Asani Allen, right? Asani Allen.
All great players.
And a lot of those guys had a transfer in their senior year because, again, there was that uncertainty And it was certainly, if you ask Russ Ellen right now, he doesn't hold any grudges about that. He said you had to do what you had to do. They went down south. They played their football. They got their scholarships as well. But those were the guys missing in the COVID year and the year after. And that's why a DJ Gordon had to come up as a true freshman and be your starting quarterback in Nassau Conference 1. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Gordon goes far sideline. Cut inside. Good-looking tackle. That was complete to Yvonne Neese.
Good decision by Gordon to throw that one short right there.
There's that tempo you mentioned before, right? We're going to hurry up a little bit as we approach a minute left in the fourth quarter. Gordon tucks under the pressure, runs towards his own sideline, gets out of bounds. Good scamper by the junior.
Looks like he just got enough maybe for the first down. It's very, very close. Depends what they mark it. First down. The clock stops now. He went out of bounds.
Yep. Would have anyway, right, to move the chains, but considering that he went out, it gives you those extra seconds. 1st and 10 from the Freeport 48-yard line. Gordon back to pass. Goes over the middle, looking for his brother, and incomplete. Jaden Gordon not happy.
Massapequa, kind of electing to play coverage and defend the field and not really, send extra rushers, rush with the front that they have and cover the field. And the dangerous part is always, obviously, Gordon pulling the ball down, right, and taking off. If you're stuck in man coverage, you're going to turn your back to the quarterback in a lot of cases. So playing a little bit of a softer zone look here, being willing to trade yardage for time.
Here's 2nd down. Gordon goes towards the sideline. Incomplete. Nearly a game-changing interception. As you saw, Tyler Villalta, the free safety there, as the intended target was Jean Lubin.
3rd down, 2 downs to work with here.
Yes, again, if you're Freeport, you've got 2 timeouts, and you can get the first down, so you don't have to go home run hitter here necessarily. But that is kind of the way this game has gone. 3rd and 10 from the Freeport 38. They check the sideline again.
2 plays to get a first down here, Dylan. It's 3rd down and 4th down. So you could take something underneath, and problem is you may have to get over the ball and run the play quickly. Use one of your timeouts.
Gordon back to pass over the middle. That's complete to Jean Lubin. Cuts it outside, trying to get himself out of bounds. He's taken down at the 35-yard line. That moves the chains. That stops the clock on the moving of the chains. And I think Freeport has also now just called a timeout.
Reason with 1 timeout left, Dylan. They have the ball on the 35-yard line and a first down, 4 plays to work with.
So Freeport again, right? They go from that loss in week 1 to Port, improved in week 2, and I think have made a massive jump from week 2 to week 3 from that win over the Jets of East Meadow to now being in the ball game with the 2-time defending champion Massapequa, who is the favorite to win it this year as the preseason number 1 seed.
Yeah, listen, I think you never should count Freeport out of anything, and if you do, you're mistaking, not. But some people probably were looking at the scores early on, as I mentioned earlier, and said, "Well, what's going on here?" But they've answered the bell here tonight, and I think this is one of those games you don't want to lose. No one wants to lose this game here tonight. But if Freeport would have come away and not win the game, they're still not. They're still improving. They're still getting better, even though their record is 1-2.
Here we go. 1st and 10 from the Massapequa 35-yard line. 32 seconds left. Trips right for Freeport. Oh, and some movement on the outside. The flag is thrown. So this will be a false start, and you can see there is trying to, at the bottom of your screen, those receivers are trying to maneuver themselves in the right position, but instead they'll get pushed back for 5 yards.
Well, you need 7 men on the line of scrimmage, right, Dylan? So I think they couldn't decide which receiver was supposed to be on and which was supposed to be off. Unfortunate for Freeport, and they move, and that cost them 5 yards right now.
An illegal shift was called. Bob Miller.
Bigger than the play, Dylan, was the time off the clock, right?
Yeah, you lost, what is that? Was it 8 seconds, I think? 32, I think,
Time
down
is
to
more
25.
important than the yardage.
100%. Timeout is called by Massapequa. This gives me a chance, Mike, to tell one of my favorite Russ Sellon stories, right? Just a master motivator, right, as a head coach. And, back in the days of, like, MSG varsity and, used to have mic'd up coaches, right, in the pregame. And Sellon had a great one where it was essentially the short of the story was he likened it to Bronx Tale, right? Where he was saying, there used to be a guy in town who just talk smack all the time and he'd be in your face, but you close the doors of the bar and now you can't leave, right? So it's like that was one of his greatest things, and that's what he liked. And he said, listen, we're going to get them into our house, we're going to close the gates, and they got to play us now, right? You could talk all you want during the week.
Sure, very daunting task going to Freeport High School and playing them, and daunting task playing them when they came to your high school many years.
Yeah,
and,
100%.
As was the case for Massapequa and Farmingdale and the teams who have been traditional powers, but have kind of ran the conference. And we mentioned Baldwin earlier, a new coaching staff at Baldwin. I think they're taking some strides to they were a traditional power for many years in the conference, living certainly in the top half of the conference, in the top 5, 6 top teams every year. And hopefully, you want teams to improve and get better, right? Better teams in the conference, more competition is a good thing.
Here we go. 1st and 15, 25 seconds left. Gordon rolls to his right. He's got good protection. Throws it to the sideline. That is complete. A nice job getting out of bounds was Jaden Gordon.
See right there, Massapequa playing coverage. Looking at the quarterback, so if he gets scrambling, they can tackle him. Giving up yardage for time is a good trade right now.
9-yard gain to the 31-yard line. Because Gordon got out, the clock has stopped.
Freeport with that one timeout. You'd rather not have to use it unless you absolutely have to. Saving it maybe to the end if you needed it.
Gordon rolls out. He'll go end zone looking for his brother, but in and out of the hands again. Nearly intercepted in the end zone by Villalta. How many times have we seen Tyler Villalta just almost come up with that game-saving interception?
Best part about that is he's in the right place, right? He's in the right place at the right time, and he's one of the younger guys here tonight, right? As a sophomore, playing a big role in a this is a championship level atmosphere right here, right, Dylan? Two teams battling it out.
3rd and 6 now. You can stop the clock by moving the chains from the 31. Gordon looks for options, rolls out, under pressure. Gordon tries to get out to his sideline. He is sacked, and you've got to take that final timeout now, right, if you are Freeport. And
one of our players to watch, Wakely with the sack. Big play.
And that, I think, was the ball game. They didn't get time, so a Wakely sack ends it as Massapequa with a 35-28 win. Hey, listen, Kevin Shipos knew something when we said, hey, who's your defensive impact player? He goes, Dylan Wakely. You see why, right?
That's why they're the 2-time defending champs. Pretty good coach.
Yeah, Wakely, a massive sack at the end. Because when Gordon gets scrambling, right, you never know what he's going to be up to. So Wakely, a massive sack for the 2-year starter, as Massapequa holds on for the 35-28 win over Freeport. If you're a neutral, if you're a fan of either team, I think you leave here, you clap your hands, you say, what a ball game.
Well, I'm a fan, Dylan, of Conference 1 Nassau County football, and that's a great representation of Nassau County football, and it played at a high level with a lot of good athletes running around making plays, and a lot of coaching twists and turns. And, the last team that had the ball maybe just almost ran out of time a little bit, right, but almost pulled it out, pulled the game out to tie it up. But Massapequa, tremendous job. They survive and they won the game, and they just made a few more plays than Freeport did over the course of the game.
An incredible ball game, and Massapequa improves to 3-0 on this young season. Freeport falls to 1-2, but we know certainly we're going to see a lot more of the Red Devils as we move forward.
Dangerous team, Freeport. I think they're one of those teams, and as this season gets going, they'll have come up with some more wins for sure.
You know who I'm a fan of? Our sponsors. Let's get to them now here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High school football fans, Varsity Media is bringing exciting, exclusive content to you for the 2022 season. Introducing the Varsity Media Pass, available on iOS and Android. Accessible all season long, the Varsity Media Pass features game highlights, weekly podcasts,
A clash of styles, out in Setauket. We love those differing styles, right?
top 10 plays of the week, player interviews, and so much more. Head to varsitymediapass.com to download the app and start enjoying content only Varsity Media can bring. If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
The Real Taco Tuesday is finally here. Come join us over at Guac Shop October 4th to celebrate National Taco Day, featuring both styles that you guys love, crispy or soft tacos. $5.99 in-store only. Guac and queso is always extra. So I'll see you October 4th for National Taco Day.
Welcome back to Burner Middle School. Final score again, Massapequa 35, Freeport 28. It's time for our Guac Shop post-game show. We'll send it down to Ben Turchin.
With Chiefs, and I'm here with the quarterback, Paul Delanto, and wide receiver, Ryan Fountain. First of all, seesaw battle, unbelievable. You had 3 touchdowns today. Talk about the win.
It was a great team win. They're a good team. They're coached very well, but we're a big contender in this conference, and we can't have to play today.
Ryan, you had a big one, a 70-yard touchdown catch from this guy. How'd you break open? How were you so open? And you weren't the only one.
Everybody had a big play today. I mean, we faced a lot of adversity, but, I just kind of I knew the play right away because I scored on it last week. Threw it right to me, shook him, and just took it to the house.
You guys came into this game 2-0, Freeport here.
It's step 3 in the journey.
All right, well, we're here with Joe from Guac Shop, and he has a big announcement and a giveaway for the entire team for winning today. Joe, we're going to give it to you.
So the Massapequa Chiefs just won a free group dining dinner for the whole team over here. So, there you go. There you go. That's it, guys. They all won. This is available for anybody at our Wanta store, $10.99 a person, anywhere from 10 to 100 people, but these guys are getting it completely free.
Not bad, huh? Free meal.
I'll take a free meal any day.
Congratulations, guys, again to Massapequa. We want to thank Guac Shop as well, our post-game sponsor. We'll see them all season long, so thank you, Joe. Let's send it back up to Dylan.
Ben, thank you very much. Guac Shop, 5 locations throughout Nassau County, Garden City, Jericho, Wantagh, Freeport, and New Hyde Park. Mike, I've not seen kids light up their eyes more after a big win than to hear "Free meal on us" by Guac Shop. Love it.
Football guys, you'll take the free meal every time. Absolutely. Especially the big guys up front, right? The big uglies up front, they'll always get a free meal.
You get a hat as well, right? A cool Guac Shop hat to boot. Great stuff from Joe at Guac Shop, our new post-game sponsor as well. I want to thank, of course, Body Armor as well. Before we leave, I want to once again show you our upcoming schedule and some tremendous games for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. If the games are anything like tonight's games, they will be unreal. Can't miss football. We go to Suffolk 2, the Black and Blue, and 6-3-1. It's Lindy and Northport. They do battle on the 1st at 1:30. On the 7th, under the lights, MacArthur and Southside. How about another old school, traditional battle of powerhouses in Nassau Conference 1? Freeport, they will head to Don Snyder Stadium to take on the Dalers on October 7th. And that backyard brawl that is always entertaining between Bethpage and Plain Edge. Little Nassau Conference 4 for you as well. It's East Rockaway, Cold Spring Harbor, and Port Washington Syosset on October 21st at 5:30.
Great stuff coming up. These are great games. These are games that are going to determine the conferences and playoffs and that type of thing. And just from what we saw tonight, Dylan, Massapequa was number 1 seed, defending champ. A lot of players, a lot of talent, a lot of ability, and it's going to be a great battle to be, who finishes in first place, because a 2-3 game is, when you get to the semifinals, and those games are going to be very hard. Two very close teams. You want to be the one. We'll see who can finish it up, who can get there.
I want to remind folks as well before we go off air about Varsity Media Pass. Top 10 plays. I think we might have 7 of our top 10 plays this week from this game alone. We've got highlights as well, podcasts, interviews, season preview show, and more available on iOS and Android. Varsity Media Pass. You've got to get it on your phone, or you go to the website. That'll do it here from Burner Middle School for the entire Varsity Media gang. My broadcast partner, Mike Hungerford, Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.